Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Kansas Jayhawk basketball.
Looking on a three, he drives, a two-hand, thunder jam! He throws it down!
On the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Delta Dental Jayhawk Shoot-Around. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. By the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health, the Kansas Department of Insurance, reminding you to have a game plan before you invest. Help is available at smartinvestks.com. And by the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger.
From way downtown, bang!
Coming up, we'll count down to tip-off and hear the exclusive pregame thoughts of head coach Bill Self. Now, let's go live to courtside.
From the famed James Naismith Court at historic Allen Fieldhouse, the cathedral of college hoops. Sweeping across the Sunflower State from Liberal to Lawrence, from Hutchinson to Hayes, and everywhere. I'm a Baylor was a stiff test with good outside shooting, but none of those three teams post the type of prolific three-point firepower that Kansas will face tonight. So the absence of one of the Jayhawks' top two perimeter defenders may be felt even more. BYU averages an astounding 11 three-point makes per game while launching a whopping 32 attempts per contest. It's no secret when KU has been beaten in league play this year, it's usually featured the other team going off from three. Some shooting displays against KU put on by Iowa State, West Virginia, and Texas Tech have all been high water marks for those respective teams, but would be considered just a regular night for these Cougars, Greg. BYU has double-digit threes in 18 of their 27 games. They are, however, coming off a season low of threes at Kansas State on Saturday with just 6, so they'll try to heat back up here tonight. What must the Jayhawks do to keep the Cougars' three-point strokes on ice here this evening?
We talk a lot about how teams have shot well against us, but they haven't shot that great here in Allen Fieldhouse. We're a little more comfortable. The juice is up, the building's rocking, and it sometimes gets to teams, but they shoot it at such a high rate, and you know that's their entire game plan, and they win or lose by the three. You just hope you get a hand up, you get a body on them, you get the rebound, and you get out and go, and it can lead to easy buckets on the other end. But the defensive awareness that you have to have when you play a team like this, tons of back cuts, tons of penetration, and they don't necessarily try to score from their penetration. They penetrate to pitch. So you got to be disciplined, you got to stay down, and you got to show, but you also can't leave the shooter. It's a very difficult thing to do, but you know that's what they like to do, but you want to take them out of that.
We'll talk to Coach Self about some of those same defensive principles, as well as Nick Timberlake straight ahead as our Delta Dental Jayhawks shoot-around continues on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
At Truity Credit Union, we're big fans, not only of our Kansas Jayhawks, but also our members and our Lawrence community. From your first checking account to your first home or even retirement, we're here to cheer you on. If you're looking for better banking, make the switch and start experiencing the credit union difference today. Join us and learn more at truitycu.org. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by the NCAA.
Midco welcomes you to where bright tech meets even brighter service. We call it the bright side. Here, our internet does its thing, so you can do more of yours. Living, working, and playing right where you are, because it's where we are too. And our really reliable service makes Midco a real good call for all. So, are you ready to enjoy the Midco bright side, neighbor? Visit midco.com today.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
It's time now to hear from a Jayhawk player in the Midco Player Profile. With Midco Home, you'll feel totally at home on the bright side, where bright tech meets brighter service. Visit midco.com today.
Tonight on our pregame player profile, we catch up with Mr. SportsCenter Top 10, Nick Timberlake, back on the ESPN Top 10 list for that amazing dunk and one play versus Texas. Gotta ask, that one or the dunk in Stillwater that was rated number 3? I guess this one got 5th on Saturday night. Which is your favorite dunk?
I'd probably say the one at home, alley-oop. Just more so the fact that it was at home and the reaction from everyone and just not being able to hear myself think right after. It was pretty cool.
Do you pay attention to social media stuff with some of the memes people put out and all that are now singing your praises and hyping up the athlete that is Nick Timberlake?
No, not really. I mean, most of my boys have been sending me them just to make sure I see them and everything for a good laugh. But no, I haven't really been paying attention to it that much.
Confidence has got to be on the climb with some of your recent contributions on both ends of the floor. Speak to your current mindset and what you're doing to try to help fill the gap while Kevin's out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing whatever I can. I mean, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job past couple games of what my role has been. Obviously, Kev came back for Oklahoma and didn't really play as much as I had the past couple games, but I felt like I had an impact defensively that game rather than offensively. But I mean, we ended up getting the road win. Kev was huge help in that game, and then obviously didn't play against Texas, but everyone else stepped up, so that was great to see. I mean, Marco, Jamari, myself, P, all stepped up from the bench, so when everything's rolling for us, we're pretty good.
Exactly. You certainly are. Is there a moment in particular where you felt like things started to click or you started to settle in? I mean, there's high water marks throughout league play going back to Morgantown when you had the huge first half, but was there any particular moment you recall where you kind of felt settled?
I wouldn't say there's a particular moment. I think it's just kind of been a buildup of everything that's been happening throughout the year. And obviously, the more playing time I get, the more comfortable I'm feeling and everything. It's definitely different from the environments that I'm used to of Towson the last 5 years. I mean, I knew everything in that system just with my eyes closed. So learning a whole new system and everything, I mean, it's definitely taken me a little bit longer than I would have liked to have. But, I mean, I think it's coming at a perfect time.
You did a great job weathering the storm in the midst of some of that. Who were the rocks you were able to lean on when you were going through some of the challenging transitional times?
Yeah, I mean, my dad and mom have been a huge help just talking to them. I mean, my dad's played college basketball before, so he understands the pressure of it, but he also doesn't understand the pressure of Kansas basketball. Sure. So he's trying to say the most he can, but he also understands that he's never had pressure like this before on himself. So he just kind of saying it from a life standpoint of just keep on going, just trust the process and good things will come.
That's great advice, and I certainly admire the way you've attacked it. Let's talk about tonight's challenge. BYU obviously comes in stinging from Saturday's loss in Manhattan, but just this time a week ago, they were knocking off number 11 Baylor. So great shooting team. They score north of 80 a game. What stands out to you as you size up the Cougars?
Yeah, I mean, it's another Big 12 team, so they're obviously very talented, and it's going to be another battle for us. But, I mean, they're a great three-point shooting team, like you said, score a lot of points, so just maintaining the three is going to be very crucial for us today.
When Coach says things like we got to defend the perimeter better, run guys off the line, add some specifics to that in layman's terms for our listeners. What does defending the perimeter need to look like from your vantage point?
Yeah, just making them uncomfortable, making them into drivers rather than shooters. I mean, they like to get downhill and pass it, so whatever we can do to close those gaps, close the three-point line, it will be in our favor.
Be some great keys. Nick, we're so proud of your success. Best of luck tonight, and thanks again for the time.
Thank you, Rock Chalk.
That's Nick Timberlake. More pregame coming up on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Hey there, Jayhawk fans. Coach Self here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Dillon's app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points as well. Best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another championship season. Dillon's, fresh for everyone. Rock Chalk.
It's time to hear from the head coach himself. Part 1 of our pregame visit with Bill Self is presented by LMH Health, your partner for lifelong health. Learn more at lmh.org.
Well, Coach, a great test in the fog tonight with BYU coming in. We'll talk about the Cougars here in just a second. But first off, a really complete performance on Saturday, particularly in the first half. Of all the things you could carry over from Saturday to tonight, what would you most like to see?
Well, we guarded, we were efficient, we rebounded it above average. We were pretty good the first half. So I'd say we did everything fairly well the first half. Texas, who has a really talented athletic team, we all know that. They're ranked 40th in the net. The team we're playing tonight's ranked 12th or 13th. I think people don't know how good BYU is. They're good, and they can really shoot, and we're going to have to be really turned up tonight as well.
No doubt. We'll dive into some of those defensive keys in a second. Offensively, you made the observation a couple of times since Saturday that while it's unfortunate we're without Kevin right now, the ball seems to be moving a little bit with this group. Speak to that and what you've seen from some of the guys moving the ball a little bit better.
Well, I just said the ball not sticking. I think the guys realize that we're missing 19 points a game, so we need to do some things better in order to maybe get some easy baskets and give other guys a chance to maybe do what they do well. Because when you lose 19 points a game, you got to get it from somewhere. And so I think the ball has moved pretty well. It moved very well at times this year when we had our full complement of guys, very well. But I think the thinking that we better move it better or we won't have success now, I think is something that's helped us a little bit.
The ultimate distributor is DeJuan Harris, and we were talking last night on Hawk Talk about the last month he's had. I went back and added it all up. 56% shooting, assist-to-turnover ratio is 4-1, and obviously defensively he continues to shine, particularly on A. Smith the other day. How proud of him are you over this last 4-week stretch?
Well, yeah, we all love Juan and everything. I'll be proud of him when the season's over and we have a successful March, but he's done great. Played well, and of course he's going to have to do the same moving forward.
And what are the keys for Nick Timberlake to continue on an uptick?
I don't know. Just keep doing what he's doing. He's playing hard and playing to athletic ability, and he's taking good shots. And he's still going to have a game where he makes 3 or 4 threes. But he's doing well and making the most of the opportunity.
Speaking of making shots, we'll talk about a team that makes a ton of them when we come back. The BYU Cougars on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
FNBO free checking is checking that's actually free. No fees or minimums, and now no overdraft fees. It's ever so personal, with people to help every step of the way. And easy, with a mobile app that allows you to deposit checks and manage your account wherever you are. So make the switch so you can do more with a great big small bank. Visit FNBO.com to learn more or stop on by. It's ever so free. FNBO free checking. Proud bank partner of Kansas Athletics. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Tammy Peterman, president of the Kansas City Division of the University of Kansas Health System. We are proud to once again be the only hospital recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the best in Kansas and Kansas City, with 8 nationally ranked medical and surgical adult specialties. We remain committed to providing outstanding health care delivered in the most compassionate way right here at home. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/compassionate care.
Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Get ready for more with the head coach. It's part 2 of our pregame interview with head coach Bill Self.
We continue our pregame conversation with head coach Bill Self and dive into BYU, one of the most dynamic three-point shooting teams in the country. 11 makes per game. They shoot them at 35%. As you referenced, an average night for them is double-digit threes, so you're expecting them early and often. Talk about the challenges of taking on a team like that.
Well, you got to, they can drive it too, and they're good athletes, and they can shoot it. They run great stuff. They look to score in transition. You can't run back to the lane and build out. They would have already shot it. So you got to get to shooters initially and guard the arc. And our defense, our first shot defense for the year has been really good, really good. I think our defensive efficiency, we're in the top 10 of the country, and those sorts of things. But the one thing we haven't done well, we haven't defended the arc like we could. When we haven't played well, it's been because people have busted us up pretty good from beyond the arc. And this is a team that can certainly do that. So we got to get the shooters better. Our ball screen coverage needs to be really good, so that way they can't score off of that from behind the arc. And that's what ball screens are designed to do, is get you in rotations and get you to help and get you off shooters. And so we're going to have to be on point.
From a big man perspective, Traore and Khalifa offer a couple of different looks. Speak to the keys against guys like those two.
Well, Khalifa's we think Hunter's a good passer. Khalifa's an unbelievable passer. That's what I kept telling Hunt. I said, you think you can pass? You can't pass like this guy. I mean, this guy is an elite passer. He's a good three-point shooter, obviously, shooting 34 or whatever it is, and he shoots a lot. But he's not an agile guy at all. Hopefully we can take advantage of that. They bring in the big load inside that's not a three-point shooter and can pass, but obviously isn't the same type passer. There's only one of those in America. We've got to do a good job because he's going to play closer to the basket, and how we guard ball screens is going to be a big key to how we guard the post and different things. And so Hunt's got a different challenge tonight. He's got a different challenge. A lot of the people we played in the past are ball screen, run to the rim guys and all this stuff, and he'll have one of those, and the other one will be a pick and pop guy for the most part. So Hunt needs to be big tonight. I think that this is a game and hopefully in which he can really take advantage of what he does well. I think this could be a night where if things fall right for him, hopefully he can have a big night.
It's exciting. All right, we've covered a lot of defensive keys. Further keys for Kansas and a win tonight.
Well, you got to execute, but the biggest thing is you can't let them be comfortable. You can't let them play at their pace with their rhythm and everything. We need to make sure that the game feels fast to them when they're on offense and we're on defense. If the game's in slow motion to them because of our lack of being able to get after them, I do think that it plays to their advantage in a big way. So hopefully that's something that we can do defensively, and of course rebounding the ball is always going to be a key with us because we haven't been a great rebounding team. We've been okay. We've been pretty good, and we've had some great rebounding games, but also we've been pretty poor at times too. So those are things we got to do. But you look at Texas Tech, K-State didn't shoot a great percentage, but they made some without question. Whether it be Central Florida, whether it be West Virginia, Iowa State made 14 against us. You look at the games in which we haven't had success. Marquette shot it well, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's been because we haven't defended the arc very well. So this will be a big key tonight.
All right, Coach. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
That's head coach Bill Self. More pregame coming up on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with doing your homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you are just coming off the bench or are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com. That's smartinvestks.com.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
With the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the whoops. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We are 10 minutes away from tip-off here in the Fog. Kansas and BYU. Keys to the game are presented by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMHL.
Pretty simple on the keys to the game. We've talked about it. Leading up to this game's got to be able to defend the arc. This is a team that loves to shoot the three. They run everything to get behind that three-point line and shoot them out in the mid-30s percentage-wise and number of attempts. So defend the three, box out, get the long rebounds, and get some buckets on the other end. And as always, take care of the basketballs. No empty possessions. The Delta Dental Jayhawk shoot-around continues on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See all for details at SiriusXM.com/Big12Sports.
Great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere. A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Back live here in Allen Fieldhouse for a Tuesday night matchup against our new team here in the Big 12. The BYU Cougars come to town at 19-8, 7-7 in league play. Your starting lineups are brought to you by Club Car Wash, the official car wash of Kansas Athletics, with unlimited membership starting at just $22 a month. There's no better time to find a location nearest you. Mark Pope brings his Cougars in. He's in his 5th season, former Kentucky Wildcat, now taking over the BYU program. They get it all started with Noah Waterman, Spencer Johnson, Trevin Neal, Dalen Hall, and Ali Khalifa. The Jayhawks back to their same lineup as Saturday with the absence of Kevin McCullough. They go with DeJuan Harris, Johnny Furphy, KJ Adams, Hunter Dickinson, and Nick Timberlake in there for Kevin McCullough. This has been the Delta Dental Jayhawks Shoot-Around. The opening tip is next, right here on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Would you like to learn how AI-driven financial strategies can empower you to meet evolving challenges with confidence? OneStream can help you do just that. It's the next generation intelligent finance platform that streamlines corporate performance management processes such as planning, forecasting, financial close, and consolidation. Choose the smarter option. Choose OneStream. Go to onestream.com/AI and streamline your business today.
And now an important message from our coaches' wives.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis,
988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support.
You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors
who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed.
There is hope.
You are not alone.
For 24/7 non-judgmental support,
call, text, or chat 9.
I'm calling Brian Haney to see if he can do something about these refs.
Hey, Matt, what's up, bud? Hey, you don't call the game as we speak, right?
Hey, Brian, tell those refs to put their glasses on. That was a horrible call. I saw it clear as day here at the 23rd Street Brewery.
Okay, Matt, I'll see what I can do.
And he rocks the rim with a right-hand hammer.
Hey, I gotta go, man.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I need to whip up a couple pans of Bill Self mac and cheese.
Watch our Jayhawks at the 23rd Street Brewery if you can't be at the game. The 7th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks are back at home tonight, looking to build off their recent momentum as they take on the BYU Cougars. The Jayhawks have posted back-to-back convincing wins over departing Big 12 schools Oklahoma and Texas, most recent of which coming Saturday in a Texas-sized domination of the Longhorns.
Backdoor cut, Furphy takes it right to the hole and slams it down. The awesome Aussie strikes again.
This one's tipped and taken away. McDowell batting it ahead to Harris.
A lob. Timberlake, a slam. Are you kidding me? Timberlake takes it to the top floor and throws it down.
Harris up the floor. KJ deep catch.
Big dunk. KJ Adams fires it home. He pumps his fist. 16,300 erupt. Kansas dominating Texas. Texas.
Now the Hawks turn their focus to a Cougars team that fell out of the rankings yesterday, despite knocking off number 11 Baylor this time a week ago. In fact, the Cougars have the most votes of any unranked team and start the week in 7th place of the ultra-competitive Big 12 Conference. BYU boasts one of the nation's best three-point shooting teams and an offense that averages north of 80 points a game. So defending the perimeter will be of paramount importance again today. So, can Kansas hold serve yet again at home and improve to a whopping 15-0 in the fog? Or will the Cougars make a big splash in their first trip to Lawrence as Big 12 rivals? Find out next on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Wave the wheat. Two-hand layup, good. One on the feed. Kansas back up by one. Here's a lob. Big catch, big dunk. It's game time. Splits two defenders, gets inside, gets the hoop and the harm. Here comes Kansas. A right-hand layup, good.
On the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield, live play-by-play action of Jayhawk basketball is brought to you by Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. The Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. By the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health. And by Kansas 988 Hotline, a suicide and crisis lifeline. Call 988. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. Now let's go live to courtside alongside Greg Gurley. Here's the voice of the Jayhawks, Brian Haney.
Back in live in Allen Fieldhouse, Kansas, about to get this party underway with Hunter Dickinson in the jump circle opposite of Noah Waterman. He has a 3-inch height advantage. Toss on the tap, won by KU. Wearing some cream-colored uniforms tonight. More on those later. BYU in the Road Blues, a Nike school. Kansas attacking from right to left as we view the court. Johnny Furphy collecting a pass at the top of the circle. Man-to-man defense by BYU to open this game. Timberlake on the left wing, flings head of the circle now to Dickinson. 8 to shoot, hands off to Furphy. Jump stop at the free throw line, turns back to Juan. 4 to shoot, spins in the lane, a scoop shot on the way is good. DeJuan Harris continues his tear, and KU strikes first.
What an opening possession. Not much BYU can do there. Just a crazy good shot by DeJuan Harris.
2-0 Kansas. BYU has it head of the circle with the big fella Khalifa, who Bill Self says is the best passer in the country. Here's a three-pointer launched and missed this time by Nell. Rebound Johnny Furphy, who's been averaging nearly 7 boards a game as a starter. It's really improved KU's overall rebounding as a team. Here comes Timberlake. Back to Dickinson. Long two, misses strong. And the rebound to BYU and Nell. Dickinson's shooting numbers have really dipped in league play from 3 and from the free throw line. More on that later. Inside, Khalifa misses the shot, but he's fouled by Furphy. A little shot fake got Furphy elevated, and the freshman fouled the veteran big.
Yeah, and the threat of the 3 right there. 2 guys running at him. Furphy had to catch up and keep an eye on that one. Don't want 1 to become 2. Need Johnny Furphy on the floor.
Khalifa at 6'11", bricks the first free throw. He's 6'11", 270 out of Egypt. Only averages 6 points a game, but as we talked about, one of the best passing big men in America. And he actually leads the Big 12 in assist-to-turnover ratio. You don't often see that from a 6'11 guy.
Yeah, very high basketball IQ and really sees things before they happen. And he's a good center point for their offense.
Harris off to KJ, leans in, muscles up, and gets it to go. And the foul. A chance at 3 for KJ Adams.
Big boy ball. Hall just looked at him like, what do you expect me to do? KJ just barreled right through the chest of Hall. He was no match for the strength and athleticism of KJ Adams. What a ball game he had on Saturday. Might have had a little extra notch in him or whatever, because it was his home school, home city school. And, you know, obviously didn't go to Texas, but in their farewell downfield us. Wanted to have a big day, and here he is starting out today with a big bucket and the free throw, 5-1 Jayhawks.
He's shooting 67% from the free throw line in conference action, 59% overall on the year. He completes the three-point play, but then a quick foul on DeJuan Harris, who was swiping at the ball from Hall, and Wando picks up his first.
DeJuan gambles a lot. He kind of reached in there, definitely body contact, and they're going to call that every time.
BYU gets it into Hall, a sophomore out of Plain City, Utah. Picks up his dribble on the right wing, then gets it right back from Johnson, who just became a father last week. We'll tell you more on that next time we get a dead ball. Here's Hall on a drive, driving and scoring over Hunter Dickinson. Got it around that 7'2" wingspan and banked it in.
And this BYU team knows that teams are going to try to run them off the line, and they are going to put the ball on the floor. And that time Hall got around Hunter Dickinson and got the bucket.
First BYU field goal make. It's 5-3 Kansas. Adams enters in to Dickinson. Khalifa guarding him on the right elbow. Picks up his dribble. Skips over the top to Harris. Thought about a three. Blows by his man. Finds Nick. He'll try one. Missed it front iron. And the rebound to BYU. Boy, that was a good look. Feet set, shoulders square, but missed it a little short. Here come the Cougars. 5-3 Kansas here early. BYU launches a quick three over Dickinson that misses with a thud. That one from Nell. Rebound Furphy again, his second defensive rebound. Johnny collects at the top, fires inside to Hunt, turns, shoots. Got it to go! And the foul! Around and around that ball spun and finally fell through.
After the miss by Nell, Hunter did a good job of busting it down the floor, got on that left block, created position, and didn't give it up. That's the most important part. He doesn't allow Khalifa to root him out. The guys found him. Quick hitter at the rim in transition.
Coach Self said in the pregame, this is the type of matchup where Hunter could really thrive if they establish him here early, and that's exactly what they've done. Three-point play completed, 8-3 now, Kansas.
Yeah, you look at Khalifa at 6'11", 270, but not very fleet of foot.
They lob over the top to Johnson, rejected emphatically by KJ, and Timberlake comes up with the carom. Here comes Kansas. KJ brings it up the floor, steps through, fires left side to Furphy. Now they back it out to Harris. 8-3 Jayhawks here early. Harris controlling at the tip of the Jayhawks' beak. Dribbles it right side, lobs over to KJ. Muscles up, misses. Tip won't go for Hunter, and the rebound to BYU and Khalifa. Ahead to Johnson, sprinting down the right sideline. He's 26 years of age, the oldest player in D1. Misses here. It was partially blocked by Nick, but they're going to say out of bounds off BYU. Johnson pleading his case politely, but that's going to be KU ball.
That was just Nick not giving up position. Made him take a much more difficult shot. Didn't tip it, and he missed it by 3 feet. He was asking Kerry Crawford for a foul, but there wasn't anything there. That was just a wild shot.
8-3 Kansas. Dickinson head of the circle. Right side rifles it toward Timberlake, who's tripped up. No whistle. Keeps his dribble, though, and saves it ahead to Dickinson. Hunter, left side to KJ. 8 to shoot for Kansas. KJ driving on Khalifa. Out to Nick. He'll try a three and miss it. In and out, no good. Rebound Furphy, though, and KU will keep. 1 for 3. No. And a push inside. Dickinson draws a foul on BYU.
Yeah, Waterman and Hunter were matched up, and Waterman, even at 6'11", is giving up some height to Hunt. Hunter did a nice job with inside position. Foul on Waterman.
Second miss by Timberlake from 3, who's been really good in every other phase of late. Bill Self said this to you in postgame on Saturday. He said it on Hawk Talk last night. Those shots that he's missing, he hits probably 7 times out of 10 in practice. What's it going to take to get the three-point prowess to translate to game night?
Well, he's got to keep shooting. You know, that was part of the problem early on. He was thinking too much, so keep shooting. Shooter's got to shoot, and it's going to go. And you're exactly right. I watch practice all the time, and he's great.
He shot 42% a year ago from 3 on 220 attempts, just 27% this year.
Yeah, definitely needs those numbers to boost up. The officials are taking a look at that last foul by Waterman to see, because Waterman came out of there with the knot on his head. We're going to see if anything is called on Hunter when we come back. First half action is brought to you by Meritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA.
8-3, Kansas in front. Looks like nothing additional will be penalized in the direction of Hunter Dickinson. Inadvertent contact, nothing intentional. So Kansas will have it when we come back up 5. 15:56 to go here in the first half on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Serious question. Have you ever shopped deals so good that you had to go back for round 2? Because I have. Yep, I'm talking about Kohl's clearance. I just saved 85% after an extra 50% off so many, maybe too many, great finds. I got myself fleece sweats and a coat, my kids some PJs, my husband a sweater, and more. So going back to Kohl's for round 3 would be crazy, right? Select styles, extra 50% off clearance valid through February 29th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Kansas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Hi, this is Alonzo Jameson, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
8-3 here early. Kansas leading BYU. Interesting hearing Greg Wrubell, the voice of the Cougars, telling David Lawrence that BYU just 2 weeks ago was in the top 25 nationally in defensive efficiency, but the bottom has dropped out in the last fortnight. They've fallen all the way to the high 60s nationally. And meanwhile, they're drying up from 3. 7 of their last 9 league games, they've not had double-digit threes, which normally is an every night thing for this Cougar team.
Well, and that happens as you get deeper into the season, because when you're known for something, you learn to guard against it and you game plan for it. You got to have option B and option C.
Kansas trying to pass in front of KJ Adams, has it tipped and taken away. It's a steal by Robinson. He drives down the floor and fumbles it out of bounds. Robinson is their top scorer, but has been a reserve for the bulk of this season. Just 6 starts. Looked like he'd have a breakaway bucket there, but Kansas gets back to force the fumble.
Well, he tried to do what Kevin McCullough does a lot, is make something out of nothing, and there was nowhere to go, and he fumbled it out of bounds after the turnover by DeJuan.
Hawks with the basketball, leading 8-3. Hunter trying to post up on the left block. They lob over the top. A double team comes, and a foul's going to be called as he turned to shoot it almost immediately on the catch. And that's going to be a second quick foul inside on one of BYU's best post players, Noah Waterman.
I don't know if was that on Waterman?
I believe that's what they just said. Second foul on Waterman, who's walking over toward the bench area. First free throw by Dickinson misses. This is something I was going to ask you about. Hunter in league play has really dipped in his shooting statistics. 16% from 3 in the Big 12, 67% from the free throw line. Greg, he was at 85% before conference action started. He misses both of them here. What's going on with the shooting form of Dickinson? Here's a deflection by Harris out of bounds. It'll stay with BYU. Hawks up 5.
I don't have a great answer, because I watch him after practice every day shoot the basketball with Joe Dooley, 3-pointers, mid-rangers, free throws, and makes. It's a mental thing. It's not physical. So unfortunately, I don't have a great answer.
There's a deep 3 for BYU, and this one is good. They got Hall a good look off a screen. Traore handed off, and Hall fires it in to cut the KU lead down to a deuce.
And obviously, when you play a team like BYU, they're never going to be out of the game. Even if Kansas establishes a big lead,
Furphy on a blow-by, flings in the corner. Now they kick it right side to Adams. Back to Johnny. He pulls the trigger. Missed it strong. Kansas ice cold from 3 to open this game. They are 0 for 4. Rebound BYU. Inside Traore, back out Saunders for 3, well off the mark. Rebound Furphy with one hand, a lob up the floor. It's Dickinson, a 2-hand slammer. Hunter Dickinson, cherry picking underneath, fires
is a rarity to see your big guy cherry picking. That's usually your best rebounder is going to be under the basket, but he was wide open.
Hawks by 4, 10-6. Traore inside, backing down on Dickinson. Leans in, muscles up, and strip going up from behind by KJ. Picked up by Dickinson. Hawks made a sandwich out of Traore that time, and it was KJ. They got a quick hand in. A lob on the other end to KJ, and he's fouled on the catch, and then gets tangled up after the play and after the whistle with Trevin Knell, who picks up the foul.
Yeah, KJ once again, just like Hunter did a few possessions ago, sprinted down the floor, got a quick seal, and Kansas found him over the top. There's the substitution pattern that we talked about as Hunter, DeJuan, and Nick Timberlake go out as Elmarko Jackson, Parker Brown, and Jamari McDowell gets the call.
This is where you got to lean on KJ as the veteran on the floor. They go backdoor to Elmarko, who loses the handle, and thankfully it's kicked out of bounds by Hall. That play was busted from the word go as he was fumbling and stumbling with the ball. It looked like BYU had a steal, but then Hall just couldn't quite grasp it.
Yeah, got a break there because, like you said, would have been a turnover. So see how this 5 on the floor did such a nice job the other day against Texas.
McDowell collects at the free throw line, kicks back to Furphy. Johnny with 8 on the clock picks up his dribble. Left side Elmarko, 5 to shoot, forces one up and gets it to go. Elmarko Jackson nails a 15-footer, 12-6 Kansas.
That's his game. A couple dribbles, mid-ranger, late in the clock. That's a big-time bonus for this Kansas team with this team on the floor for Elmarko to get a bucket.
They lob inside Traore, passes backwards. Now they kick to Hall for 3. Missed it short. Rebound Traore, but a BYU Cougar hit the deck and they put a foul on Kansas. I believe this one's going to go on Jamari McDowell, his first.
Nell ended up 20 feet from the basket, and BYU got the ball, and he went flying out of there. Probably saved Kansas from BYU getting a bucket.
13-11 to go in the half, 12-6 Kansas. They get it in. Nell splits 2 defenders, up, under, and in. What a beautiful over-the-shoulder finish, jumping from the right block and finishing on the left side. 12-8 Kansas. Hawks lob down the floor, ahead to Furphy. Right hand layup, good. Poetry in motion. Elmarko to KJ, and Johnny with a kiss.
How about that? After a made bucket, the ball doesn't touch the floor, and you get a layup.
On the other end, they foul Nell on a 3, and BYU, who's a very good free throw shooting team, is going to get 3 with Nell towing the stripe.
KJ just a little bit late, came across the body, was playing catch up, and clearly got him. Got to allow him the space to come down, and no argument from anybody. That's a foul.
So Nell, a 75% free throw shooter, and averages 11 points a game. Bricks the first. And the Kansas student section rejoices having a hand in that one. 14-8 Jayhawks. 12:42 to go here in the first half. Nell will get 2 more. Two-time West Coast Conference first-team all-academic pick. He hits the second. And we'll see a sub here as Trey Stewart checks in for Hall. One more coming for Nell. 14-9 Kansas in front. Third free throw good. He goes 2 for 3. 14-10 Kansas in front. BYU with a little bit of pressure here as Kansas gets it into Elmarko Jackson. Stewart making it tough to get it across the timeline. He does, and passes ahead to McDowell, who's coming off 5 points on Saturday versus Texas. Back it out to Jackson, dribbling behind his back. Passes backwards toward KJ on the elbow. Dribbles in, forces one up that misses, and the rebound to Traore underneath. Rebound BYU, here come the Cougars. 12:15 to go in the half, 4-point Jayhawk lead. Here's a 3, fading, firing, and good from Robinson. The Cougars have cut it to 1, and quickly, here come those 3 starters right back to the scorers table.
Yeah, and 7 of the points have been scored against this team on the floor for Kansas right now.
The fire underneath to Parker, lays it up and in. Elmarko threaded the needle, and Brown with the finish.
It really was a thread the needle. He threw it through a lot of hands. Good catch by Parker. Kansas offensively in the 4 possession they've had it have been successful on 3 of the 4.
16-13 Kansas. Saunders driving through the paint. Had it stripped by KJ. Taken away by Furphy, who then is fouled in the open floor by Nell, who I believe it just picked up his second. How about the active hands by KJ Adams? That's the second time he's got his hands in the cookie jar to pilfer it away.
Yeah, KJ so active, and a nice job by that group. We'll talk about it all night when Hunter, Nick, and DeJuan go to the bench, but in that little sample size, Kansas scored 6 points, gave up 7, but I like what they did out there on the floor on both ends of the floor. Listen up, Jayhawk fans. On game days, stop by Wendy's and buy 1 Baconator and get a second Baconator for just $1. And let's all cheer for bacon big plays all season long. Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics.
16-13, Kansas leading, 11:33 to go here in the first half of play on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
At Truity Credit Union, we're big fans, not only of our Kansas Jayhawks, but also our members and our Lawrence community. From your first checking account to your first home or even retirement, we're here to cheer you on. If you're looking for better banking, make the switch and start experiencing the credit union difference today. Join us and learn more at truitycu.org. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Truity Credit Union is federally insured by the NCAA.
Who wrote the book of love?
This is the tale of Powerball.
I'm your ticket to dream.
Powerball can transform into many things, like a boat.
Dream bigger, eh? How about a castle?
With jackpots starting at 20 million, there's no limit on dreaming. Just gotta pick your lucky numbers, and you could be on your way to
living in a castle.
CKSLottery.com for details.
We wrote the book of love.
Come on! How is that not a charge? I'm calling Brian Haney to see if he can do something about these refs.
Hey, Matt, what's up, bud? Hey, you don't call the game as we speak, right?
Hey, Brian, tell those refs to put their glasses on. That was a horrible call. I saw it clear as day here at the 23rd Street Brewery.
Okay, Matt, I'll see what I can do.
And he rocks the rim with a right-hand hammer.
All right, Matt, hey, I gotta go, man.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I need to whip up a couple pans of Bill Self mac and cheese.
Watch our Jayhawks at the 23rd Street Brewery if you can't be at the game.
11:33 to go here in the first half. 16-13 Kansas. The Jayhawks have opened 7 of 15 from the field, 48%. BYU 4 of 10 for 40%. Difference is the Cougars have hit a couple of threes. Kansas 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. Bill Self was talking about it last night. This Cougar team that's had double-digit threes in 18 of their 27 games means that they've done that on 16 more occasions than Kansas. Can you name the 2 times we actually had double-digit threes?
Yeah, I was going to think our first couple games, right?
Yep.
I don't know if I can name those teams, but
North Carolina Central and Manhattan College. Other than that, that's it.
Well, we started out good. Those were, I do remember we had 99 points in both those games. How's that?
You've got a mind like a steel trap, partner. How do we get the three-point ball to start falling? Obviously, no McCullough yet again hurts in that regard, but Furphy's capable. You know it's in there somewhere with Nick. But on a night where you expect to be outshot dramatically from 3, you'd hate to keep taking a goose egg.
Well, yeah, you can't have a goose egg. We got to still be very efficient offensively. If we're not going to make threes, we got to be efficient from inside the arc. And right now we're looking at 7 of 15, but on 2-point shots, that's 7 of 11.
Kansas with the ball and a 3-point lead, 16-13. Hawks in their Wave the Week cream uniforms tonight. Here's Harris on a drive, misses a running right-hander. Rebound tipped about it. BYU's got it with Robinson. Cougars want to push. They pass it down the right side toward Trey Stewart. Guarded by Nick Timberlake, bounce for bounce. 11:08 to go in the half, 3-point Jayhawk lead. Out to Saunders. Finds Khalifa at the top with 10 seconds to shoot. He picks up his dribble. Passes back towards Saunders. Down to 7 to shoot. Saunders backing down on Nick. Leans in. Forces one up that crawls off. No good. Rebound Nick Timberlake. Great defensive stand for Kansas.
Really good possession by Nick Timberlake.
Marco on a drive. Misses a wild one. And he'll likely get a hook after that. Rebound BYU. Here comes Khalifa, head of the circle. Picks up his dribble, has to hand off to Richie Saunders. 16-13 Kansas. They lob underneath to Saunders now. McDowell there on the catch. He fades, floats, misses. Rebound Hunter Dickinson. It's usually been 1 and out for BYU offensively. Kansas doing a nice job on the defensive glass. McDowell steps back on a 3. He knocks it down. Jamari McDowell for the second straight ball game dials it up from long distance.
Yeah, I think you ask a lot of people who's going to hit the first 3, but Jamari McDowell might not have been the first guy to come to mind, but
here's a 3 on the other end by Khalifa. He answers right back, and he only hits him at 34%, but that one was pure.
Yeah, all 5 guys can shoot it.
19-16 Kansas. Timberlake muscles in and misses a wild flip. Boy, that's 3 in a row for Kansas by 3 different guards that have tried to drive it from the right side, and it's not been close. On the other end for the tie, Robinson in and out, no good. A corner pocket 3 would not fall. Rebound Dickinson of Kansas. Just 1 offensive board for BYU thus far. Harris, left side. Gets it from Dickinson, passes back to Hunter. Long deuce, misses. A jump shot is broken of late. Rebound BYU, and he kind of curses under his breath as he runs down the floor.
Yeah, not much more you can ask for. That was a good look. That's where Hunter's made a lot of shots. It just right now doesn't have it going.
Robinson from 17, missed it strong. Rebound El Marco. Once again, a 1 and out offensive possession for BYU, who's only shooting 5 of 16. Inside Hunter, had it stripped for a second by Robinson, and they say BYU knocked it out of bounds.
They're really letting it play down there. Khalifa and Hunter are really going at it. A lot of contact. I like the way they let it go. Nice applause for Jamari McDowell. Now Marco Jackson as Furphy and Dwan check back in.
Hawks looking for some separation here. Hard to get that when you're up against a prolific 3-point shooting team. As Greg said, you could have a 3-possession lead and suddenly it's a 2-point game just like that. Right now, Kansas, having seen 3 threes made by BYU, still leads 19-16. Get it into Dickinson. Double team trap comes. Kicks out to Furphy. Johnny will drive. Throws up one wildly that banks in. Furphy with the left hand, left block. Got it to fall.
And he took on some contact, kind of rooted him out a little bit. He's still strong enough with that left hand to give Kansas the 5-point lead. Now they got a mismatch underneath.
Harris guarding Khalifa. He passes backwards and a block from behind, but a whistle and a foul on Kansas. It was a nice find by the excellent passing big man Khalifa to hit a streaking Waterman. Eyes in the back of his head to find Waterman, but a foul from behind on Kansas and Johnny Furphy.
Wow.
Send him to the line.
And the underneath official, Terry Oglesby, called it. The outside officials where the foul was, or possible foul, was not called. Bill Self asked him. Veteran, really good official Terry Oglesby. How is that a foul?
It's a big development as that's Furphy's second foul, so McDowell will have to check in. Jeb Hartness, Gary Maxwell, and the aforementioned Terry Oglesby, your 3-man crew. Second free throw, also good. They've cut it to 3, have the Cougars. 8:16 to go in the half, 21-18 Kansas.
Waterman was a teammate of Justin Roberts.
That's right.
Way back when.
3-point Kansas advantage. BYU averages 83 a game offensively. Harris hooks a pass to Adams, steps through, rifles one up, and right in it goes. Plus contact and a foul. It's a chance at 3 for KJ Adams.
There's nothing they can do when KJ gets a head of steam going, just right into the chest. And that's the second time he's gotten all the way to the cup just playing bully ball. So anytime you can get that little pocket pass, short post to KJ, just let him go to work.
KJ 1 for 1 from the charity stripe thus far.
I didn't explain myself very well. Justin Roberts, Norm Roberts' son. To those I know you knew that.
Second free throw, or only free throw here, misses short. He fights for the rebound, and BYU knocked it out of bounds. Great hustle by the shooter, KJ, to make sure BYU didn't get that board.
Yeah, and I was wondering if KJ was going to go after it because it was clearly off a BYU leg as he missed the free throw badly, but it was so bad it didn't bounce all the way out of bounds. Kansas will keep it. Chance for a 4 or 5 point possession. Unleash your smile power with Delta Dental of Kansas. Learn more about individual and Family plans at deltadentalks.com.
I told you earlier about the Kansas uniforms. Our thanks to Larry Hare, our assistant AD for equipment operations, for always filling us in on what the Kansas threads are looking like. These, again, are the Wave the Wheat cream alternates. So they look like the normal home jersey, only they're cream-colored with a little bit of wheat on the side of each short leg, right and left side for Kansas. Hawks by 5. 8 minutes to go in the half on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
We're used to talking about all things basketball, but right now I want you to hear these 4 important words about the growing crisis of drug overdose. One pill can kill. Kansans are dying every week from drugs laced with deadly fentanyl. Please educate your loved ones to steer clear of street drugs, never buy pills online without a prescription, and always use a reputable pharmacy. Just one pill can kill.
Hi, I'm Tammy Peterman, president of the Kansas City Division of the University of Kansas Health System. We are proud to once again be the only hospital recognized by U.S. News & World Report as the best in Kansas and Kansas City, with 8 nationally ranked medical and surgical adult specialties. We remain committed to providing outstanding health care delivered in the most compassionate way right here at home. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/compassionate care.
Serious question. Have you ever shopped deals so good that you had to go back for round 2? Because I have. Yep, I'm talking about Kohl's clearance. I just saved 85% after an extra 50% off so many, maybe too many, great finds. I got myself fleece sweats and a coat, my kids some PJs, my husband a sweater, and more. So going back to Kohl's for round 3 would be crazy, right? Select styles, extra 50% off clearance valid through February 29th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, this is Walt Wesley, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Walt Wesley was not on the floor the last time BYU came to Allen Fieldhouse, but almost. It was about 5 years later they came for their lone trip, 1971, and our good buddy Bud Stallworth had an amazing day that day. Not a career day because, well, he'd later score 50 versus Mizzou, but in 71, December the 17th, Bud Stallworth wound up going for 32 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists on 14 of 27 shooting to help Kansas knock off BYU in their lone trip to Allen Fieldhouse.
How about that? 14 of 27. Not too shabby. I'd take that all day. Right now, Kansas shooting at 10 of 22, have made that 1-3. That was Jamari McDowell. BYU's basically on pace to shoot in the 30s. They're only 3 of 8, maybe a little under their numbers. Little double team here.
Get into Harris. It's pilfered away. His first turnover in 3 games, but then they turn it right back as Nick Timberlake got a hand in to force it loose of BYU, and the Cougars knock it out of bounds. Yeah, back to Juan. He had a 13-0 assist-to-turnover ratio last week. And if you go back over the last month, Greg, his assist-to-turnover ratio is 4-1, which would be top 5 nationally and far and away the Big 12 leader.
And that was only, there's a nice feed.
Inside to KJ, and he banks it in. McDowell on the feed, Adams on the finish.
And Jamari does such a good job of just making the easy play. Got it, got rid of it quick, perfect feed to KJ.
Johnson launches on a 3 and drains it. The new proud papa, whose wife just had a baby on Thursday, hits a 3-ball there to cut it to a 4-point Kansas lead, 25-21.
And after a made bucket, that shouldn't happen. That was just one pass, wide open look.
KJ fumbles on the catch, fights through a double team, and a tie-up is called. BYU has the arrow, so the Cougars, with athletic and aggressive hands there, reach in to force the tie-up.
Yeah, and that was a big tie-up because KJ, if he got that, that was going to be a dunk, but a good tie-up there. Alternate possession goes to BYU after they hit the 3.
KJ with 7 points right now to lead all Jayhawks, 25-21 Kansas. Traore hands off, head of the circle to Hall, the point guard. Back to Johnson, who just hit a three moments ago. He flips it to Hall, right side. Saunders for three. Got it. BYU already with 5 of them in the half. They are 5 of 10. Here we go. A season low 6 threes on Saturday in the Little Apple. Already 5 just down the road in Lawrence.
Well, once they break you down, you're playing catch up, then they hit you beyond the arc.
KJ pulls up from 12, misses awkwardly, and the rebound to Johnson of BYU. 1 point KU lead. It's a 6-0 Cougar run. Hall at the top, fires right side. Cougars for the lead. They miss as KJ hit the deck, and he's in pain. And now Nick Timberlake is too. He is face down on the ground, writhing in pain. KJ gets up okay, but right now all eyes on Timberlake.
It was a thud, and I was watching the rebound, so I didn't see the actual fall, waiting for a replay there.
Boy, Kansas.
It's like he fell right on that, right on his left side. Watch this. He just, boom.
Oh, tailbone.
Right on the tailbone, and that smarts, and it definitely hurts. And he's able to walk over to the bench in under his own power. And
oh, man.
Oh, wait.
Now he can't put any weight on his right foot. He goes down to a crouched catcher's-like stance.
Right as I said, he was walking over in his own power. He took about 3 or 4 steps and just went down as he reaches back and kind of puts his hand on his lower back.
Oh, no. Can't put any weight on the right leg. They're going to help him off to the locker room. Obviously, Kevin McCullough is out for the 5th time in the last 8 games. Michael Jankovic is out. He's sick, not even on the Kansas bench, not even in the building tonight. And, man, you know Kevin is really already bummed out that he can't be with his team right now, but he's got to find a way to get healthy because Kansas has 0 depth. If this is anything significant with Timberlake, that means McDowell and Jackson are going to have to play extended minutes the rest of the way.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that. The 6'11" mark as Nick Timberlake went into the locker room and not really under his own power. Got Johnny Furphy with 2 fouls. He's got to be careful.
1 point KU lead. Harris gets airborne and threw it away. Had to double pump as the defense stepped in front. It's his 2nd turnover. BYU up the floor. Saunders for the lead. Missed it side iron. Offensive rebound went through the hands of Johnson. KJ's got it. Here comes Kansas to Furphy. A right hand. Hammering dunk. He fires it through. Johnny Furphy with a poster.
How about that break? They miss a 3, get out, and get an easy one on the other end. Johnny Furphy, athletic as a player you're going to see in a long time. There's a
Traore forces up a miss. Rebound BYU. They kick it out. 3-pointer launched and missed in and out. No good. Rebound offensively. Saunders right back up and in. Parker Brown couldn't seize it, and Saunders did. Back to a 1 point KU lead.
Yeah, really miss Hunt clogging up the middle. That's a rebound he normally gets, but he's over on the bench. 2 opportunities and the bucket.
Harris tight ropes the baseline. Finds Jackson. Drives through the paint area. Jump stop. Muscles it away and banks it off the heel. No good. It bounced twice on the bridge. Wouldn't go. And it's going to be BYU ball with another chance to take the lead. They have never led, but here they are down just 1. Saunders kicks out left side. Hall. 4:35 to go in the half. Kansas leads 27-26. Cougars 5 of 13 from 3. Here's another one. This one misses short. Rebound Furphy, who then is knocked to the ground, racing up the floor, and a foul on the Cougars will be their 8th. Free throws coming for Johnny.
That's one of those long rebounds. Johnny chases it down. Would have had a breakaway. Good foul by Hall. But Johnny, a good free throw shooter, go to the line to build this lead. The BYU's just sticking around. That 3-pointer keeps them in it. They're now 5 of 14 beyond the arc.
Furphy did something on Saturday you almost never see. 16 points on 3 shots.
Yeah, Bill talked about it in the post game. Just, I think he wants Johnny to shoot it more. I mean, if you're that efficient, shoot more.
But he was shooting plenty when he got fouled, which is why he had 11 free throw attempts, hitting 9. And he hits the front end right here, does Furphy, who this season has shot him at 75%.
And you look at the box score right now, Johnny Furphy, 7 points, 3 of 4 from the field. Made his only free throw, 5 rebounds, and a couple assists.
Both free throws good for Furphy. KU lead extended to 3, 4:25 to go in the half. Kansas 4 of 7 from the free throw line. But those two are big. Johnson for the tie. It's an air ball. And he'll hear it from the Kansas crowd as that one bounces into the second row. It's 29-26 Kansas, and the Hawks have the ball.
A little game of catch-up there as DeJuan Harris came around the screen, got a hand up to force that air ball. So much lower percentage when you get a hand up and make them challenge them a little bit. See what KU can get with this group on the floor.
Harris ahead to KJ. Flings and scores. Little flip from the hip, driving right down the heart of the paint. It's a 5-point KU edge.
And DeJuan, there's a backdoor cut by Robinson.
Rejected by KJ. What a denial at the rim. Here comes Kansas. Harris to Brown. Back to one, and now they'll set it up. Furphy calling for the ball right side. Shot fakes on a 3. Blows by Khalifa. Misses a runner. Rebound tipped about, and BYU's got it with Khalifa. Parker just can't hang on to the ball tonight.
Well, and almost the third foul on Johnny. Got a break there where he didn't get called. But yeah, Parker got to come down with that rebound.
5-point Kansas lead. 3:20 to go in the half. Khalifa picks up his dribble at the top. Plays back to Robinson. He'll try a 3 that misses strong. Rebound Parker Brown. This time he got it. Here comes Kansas. Harris down the right sideline with Dickinson and McDowell awaiting a dead ball to check in. Harris, a floater. On point. Is good. Kansas by 7. It's KU's biggest lead.
Yeah, after BYU got within 1, Mark Pope can't wait. Gets a timeout before the under 4. DeJuan Harris with his float game rolling. And with that 5 on the floor, expanding that lead by 6. They're up 1, and KJ and DeJuan are the guys that got them rolling.
6-0 Kansas lead over the last 95 seconds, 33-26. I continue to look back through the tunnel toward the Kansas locker room. Still no sign of Nick Timberlake. It looked like he landed either on the hip or the tailbone.
And sometimes you can get one of those stingers from a guy that's had a bad back. You get those kind of shooting pains down your leg. It's like a stinger of a football player or whatever. And that's what, hopefully, if that's the case, those go away. But they're not fun.
That's why when he stood up and then the pain was at the bottom of the leg and you're like, what's going on? It's because where the stinger occurred can send that sensation down your nerve endings all the way to the feet.
Yeah, and I just got done saying he's walking over to the bench in his own power, and he went down. The Jayhawk Radio Network attire is presented by Weaver's Department Store. Weaver's has served Jayhawk faithful since 1857. Shop Weaver's for all your premium Jayhawk apparel and more for the entire family. Visit Weaver's at 9th and Mass, downtown Lawrence.
If he cannot return, you have 7 scholarship players and your best walk-on is sick. So, I mean, it's desperate times for Kansas. Got to stay out of foul trouble and stay the course. 33-26 Kansas. 2:53 to go in the half. And here comes Nick running out the tunnel at full speed. Crowd recognizes it and salutes him. Timberlake's going to be okay. It's the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
2:53 to go here with the first half. 33-26, Kansas in front. Jayhawks riding a 6-0 run. It's been a scoring drought of 221 for the Cougars. And how about this, Greg? 0 for their last 6 from 3. Just a few minutes ago, they were shooting 50% from downtown, but they've gone cold, and now you look down, it's 5 of 16.
Yeah, it's a numbers game for them. They're going to keep shooting them, and you got to keep getting a hand up. They're going to make some. They're a very good three-point shooting team, but it's the numbers go way down when you get a hand up.
7-point KU lead. BYU with the ball coming out of the timeout. 33-26 Kansas. Johnson guarded by Dickinson out front. Tries a three over the center. It misses. Rebound Dickinson. A long board near the left short corner.
Yeah, great to see Nick Timberlake back in there looking like he's all good. No aftermath of that bad fall.
Hand off to McDowell. Curls around his man and now backs it out to the corner. 7-point Kansas edge. 2:15 to go in the half. They try to enter toward Hunter, and he bats it out of bounds. It's a turnover. What happened on that post feed from McDowell?
Yeah, it was a bad feed by Jamari. I mean, Hunter had position, and when you're leaning on a guy, you can't lead him. You have to throw it right to his chest, and Hunter, when you have all that weight going back, it's harder to go forward when you're fighting with a guy. And Jamari's got to throw that ball right to his chest and chin.
33-26 Kansas. Khalifa thought about a long two. Instead tries to hand it off, but it's broken up for a second. Nell had to go out near midcourt to get it. Now Khalifa for three. Misses short. Long rebound saved by BYU. They're going to keep. Great hustle that time by Hall. He dribbles it over to the right wing area with 12 seconds to shoot. Hall feeds into Khalifa. Down to 7 to shoot. Backing down on Hunter. Khalifa down to 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Does he realize it? Forces up a prayer. Not answered. Tipped about, and McDowell's got it for KU.
Yeah, good possession there. They had the offensive rebound, had a second opportunity. Kansas thwarts that attempt.
Jackson kicks out to Parker Brown. Now Timberlake on the left side.
Every time Hunter has position, that weak side guy is there. Bill Self's going to get a timeout here at the 1:12 mark. He didn't really like the way that possession was going. He had his use it or lose it, and he wanted to get KJ back in the game.
As well as DeJuan. They were both waiting there, and if you don't sub them in on this possession, who knows if they come back in with 1:12 to go in the half.
So Kansas, every time Hunter posts up, much like we're defending BYU, we know what they like to do. Kansas likes to throw the ball to Hunter. That weak side guy on the other block is stopping that over-the-top pass. That's fine. That means somebody else is open because that defender's out of position, and Kansas has to figure out who that guy is. Is it a skip pass to the corner for an open three? That's probably the next step because we live and die by throwing it over the top to Hunter on the left or right block.
He commands that kind of attention. Now can Kansas capitalize on it? The KU Bookstore is the official KU campus store since 1946, and LMH Health is your partner for lifelong health. Learn more at lmh.org. 33-26 Kansas. 1:12 to go in the half. Nick Timberlake, for what it's worth, is all smiles right now, so he doesn't look to be any worse for the wear after that hard spill that sent him momentarily to the Kansas locker room. Get it into Harris. 12 to shoot for Kansas. DeJuan barking out the play call. Now looks to drive. The kick to Nick. 6 to shoot. Feeds into Hunter. Steps through. Jump hook. Buried. Wow. Hunter Dickinson. What a bucket. And KU has its biggest lead of 9.
Somewhat of a wild post shot that time, but he had to take it. He completes it. Gives Kansas their biggest lead.
Dickinson 3 of 6. He's got 7 points.
Not BYU not going to do a little 2-for-1 here.
They skip over the top to Robinson for 3. He drills it. Kansas got there late, and that halted an 0-for-8 spell from 3 by BYU.
Yeah, just lost him in the corner. Kansas does the smart thing, though, with 36 on the clock. Jamari held the ball out of bounds while the clock is running to ensure that Kansas will get the last shot.
35-29 Kansas.
Look for some slide to the corner here.
Harris dribbling on the front foot of the Jayhawk at center court. McDowell off a screen, collects right side, down to 5 seconds. Harris, a lob toward Dickinson, was forced and broken up. A steal for BYU. A full-length shot misses off the shot clock by Stewart, and halftime is here.
Well, they did exactly what I just described. Kansas wanted to get it to Hunter in the post. That weak side defender came over and picked it off, and Kansas, normally pretty good late in halves, did not get a successful attempt, and BYU ends the half with a three-pointer, cuts this Kansas lead to 6.
And just as we were singing DeWant's praises for the last 8 games of leading the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio, a first half of 4 turnovers for Harris.
And at the 7:59 mark, we only had 1 turnover, and then he gets 3 more. Got to do a better job. Still an overall pretty good job on turnovers, but got to be able to defend that three-point line. In the 6 of 19, it's about at their number.
Well, here's the interesting thing. When BYU shoots better than 32% from 3, they're 19-2. In that first half, they shot 31.6.
Yeah. They're right there.
I guess we'll take that.
We'll take that, I guess.
35-29 Kansas. We're at the half. Stay tuned. First half highlights, a breakdown of the box score, and more on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Merit Trust Credit Union here. We are proud to be the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics. We're passionate about providing student athletes and our community with the resources needed to make the best financial plays. We know everyone has a unique relationship with money, and we want to help you take hold of your financial future. That's the credit union difference. Visit merittrustcu.org to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA. It's game time. Rock Chalk.
For generations, hard-working people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with doing your homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you are just coming off the bench or are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com. That's smartinvestks.com.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
And now an important message from our coaches' wives.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis,
988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support.
You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors
who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed.
There is hope.
You are not alone.
For 24/7 non-judgmental support,
call, text, or chat 988.
20 minutes of Jayhawk basketball are in the books. Welcome to the Kansas Jayhawk Halftime Show on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield. Brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health, the Kansas Department of Insurance, reminding you to have a game plan before you invest. Help is available at smartinvestks.com. And by the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. The Kansas Jayhawk Halftime Show starts now.
Welcome back. We're at the half. Kansas leading BYU 35-29 here at Allen Fieldhouse. Let's bring you the first half statistical breakdown brought to you by Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. you can't tell, the Kansas drum line is right in front of us, literally 2 feet away. So hopefully you can hear these numbers over the top of the drum line. But Kansas shot 50%, 15 of 30, compared to 30% shooting for BYU. They were 9 of 30. They stay in the game, though, because 6 of their 9 makes were from 3, and that's not uncommon. They make more 3s than 2s. You hardly ever see that, but that's the philosophy of Mark Pope and his Cougars here in 2024. Kansas was led by 9 from KJ Adams on 4 of 7 shooting. They got 7 from Hunter Dickinson, 8 from Johnny Furphy. DeJuan Harris had 4 points, 4 assists, and 4 turnovers. 3 for Jamari McDowell. Elmarco Jackson had 2, as did Parker Brown. Kansas was just 1 of 5 from 3. BYU 6 of 19. Hawks were 4 of 7 from the free throw line. The Cougars were 5 of 7. Kansas won the battle on the boards 21-17, and they dominated points in the paint. Predictably so when BYU is shooting so many threes, but 24-6 looks pretty good in points in the paint. Steals, 3 for Kansas, 5 for BYU. Kansas had 6 turnovers. The Cougars had 4. When we come back, some first half highlights on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
(35-29), KU leads it at the half over BYU. Let's bring you some first half highlights. KJ Adams was terrific throughout. A game-high 9 points that leads both teams, including a couple of and-one scenarios. Here was the first for KJ Adams. Harris off to KJ, leans in, muscles up, and gets it to go. And the foul. A chance at 3 for KJ Adams. KJ wasn't the only one with and ones coming. So too was Hunter Dickinson with a nice play despite contact. Johnny collects at the top, fires inside to Hunt, turns, shoots. Got it to go! And the foul. Around and around that ball spun and finally fell through. 3-point play completed, 8-3 Kansas at that point, and then it was Dickinson rocking that rim. Inside Traore, back out Saunders for 3, well off the mark. Rebound Furphy with one hand, a lob up the floor. It's Dickinson, a two-hand slammer. Hunter Dickinson, cherry picking underneath, fires it home. Then Johnny Furphy got it rolling as well. He was 3 for 5 in the first half, including this one, en route to 8 first half points. 12-8 Kansas. Hawks lob down the floor, ahead to Furphy. Right hand layup, good! Poetry in motion. Elmarco to KJ, and Johnny with a kiss. Johnny Furphy with great ball movement and passing. Then it was Jamari McDowell with KU's lone first half 3. Kansas doing a nice job on the defensive glass. McDowell steps back on a 3. He knocks it down. Jamari McDowell for the second straight ball game dials it up from long distance. Then KJ Adams once again doing what he does best, contact and a muscular finish for another Kansas and one. Harris hooks a pass to Adams, steps through, rifles one up, and right in it goes. Plus contact and a foul. It's a chance at 3 for KJ Adams. He would miss the free throw, but still a great first half with 9 points. Then Johnny Furphy had this jam, easily the best highlight of the first half. Here comes Kansas to Furphy, a right hand, hammering dunk. He fires it through. Johnny Furphy with a poster. All adds up to a 35-29 Kansas lead at the half on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Put it on the card. Put it in the bag. These 3 bags used to be 6. Seems like the only thing going up these days is your credit card balance. If only there were some place to turn. Just ask your home. It's got equity. And with Rocket Mortgage, you can use it to get cash quickly for whatever you need. Visit justaskyourhome.com today. Call 1-800-863-4332 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Coach Self here. When I prepare for a game, I always do my homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you're just coming off the bench or you are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com.
Dear basketball fans, want to drive a winner? Get in a Toyota and see how impressive they are. The RAV4 is a versatile playmaker built to get the crowd going. The Highlander is a slam dunk when it comes to space. And the Camry is a fast break of fun and reliability. Plus, these Toyotas come with available all-wheel drive, so you can drive the lane with power. Visit Toyota.com to learn more, or check out your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Top of the hour here in Allen Fieldhouse. We owe you a station break. You're listening to Jayhawk basketball. Your score at the half, Kansas 35, BYU 29. This has been the halftime show. We'll return with the second half action. You're listening to Jayhawk basketball on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. 6-point KU lead as we get set to start the second half of play. 35-29. Kansas. Time to pick our first half player of the half, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, who works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion, the official freight line of Kansas Athletics. Greg, who do you turn to? Is it KJ yet again?
I think so. I mean, the only other one would be Johnny Furphy, but KJ once again brings the energy, has such a big impact on the game. Let's go with KJ Adams.
For me, it wasn't just the 9 points. It was 2 blocks, and he's only credited with 1 steal, but there were 2 that he initiated. So on both ends, he is that energy guy, KJ Adams. Hawks have the ball to start the second half. Same 5 starters that opened the game. Harris to bring it up from left to right as we view the court. BYU in a man-to-man. Harris driving right of the lane. Throws off to Timberlake in the corner. Shot fakes there. Comes to the free throw line. Enters the Hunter. Spins. Drop step. And gets the shot to bank home. Hunter Dickinson with a beautiful footwork post move.
Yeah, it took a little longer to get him the ball on the right side. It touched both sides of the floor. And Nick Timberlake goes down hard, but they're unable to find Waterman on the backdoor cut, but nice start there. Got Hunter involved early.
Waterman didn't play much in the first half because of foul trouble. They get it out to Hall. Splits 2 defenders. Right side Waterman. 8 to shoot. Forces up a 3. Misses it side iron. Rebound Dickinson. A lob ahead to Furphy. Deep catch. Right hand layup. Good. Dickinson turns into a quarterback and throws a Hail Mary touchdown.
He loves to get the ball off the glass and look. And, you know, we've seen him throw it away a couple times, but that was a great find.
Khalifa wide open for 3. Missed it. Rebound BYU, but it was a push in the back. And this one's going to go the other way. A foul on Dallin Hall.
Yeah, Johnny Furphy was right there for the rebound, and Hall pushed him right in the back. So what a great start by Kansas. A minute into the second half, back-to-back buckets and back-to-back stops.
I mentioned Dickinson turned into a quarterback with the Hail Mary. We will forgive him for listing Josh Allen above Patrick Mahomes. He's a lifelong diehard Buffalo Bills fan. We'll forgive him for that. Yeah. 14 double-doubles make that easy to overlook. They feed it inside to Dickinson. It goes through his legs, and Khalifa has the steal for BYU.
Yeah, Mahomes has more Super Bowl victories than Josh Allen.
Here's a 3 that misses from the corner, and the rebound to Nick Timberlake. Here comes Nick racing up the floor to the cup. Misses on a floater, but he's fouled, and free throws coming for Kansas.
Got bailed out there. I stopped my point. Patrick Mahomes has more Super Bowl victories than Josh Allen has divisional wins
in the playoffs. That's
so I love the back and forth with Hunter, because he is going to die on that hill. He thinks Allen is better than Mahomes, and he's like the only person in the world that believes that.
Timberlake's free throw rattles in. How about Nick's sprint down the heart of the floor there?
It was Kevin McCullough-ish, where there was nothing, and he just took it right in there and did what Kevin does, and that's draw foul. So a 6-0 run here to start the second half as Kansas goes up by 12.
Timberlake hits the pair for his first points. He's 0 for 3 from the field, but gets the free throws. The lead is a dozen, KU's biggest. Khalifa picks up his dribble, head of the circle. Throws off on the right side for Nell. He's driving on Dickinson. Gets to the left block. Kicks back out the hall. 8 to shoot. Blows by Furphy. Dumps down to Khalifa. And he's fouled by Dickinson and will shoot 2. That time Furphy got toasted on the blow-by.
Well, it's yes, he got toasted, but he's going to challenge the three-point shooter. And we talk all the time about running guys off the line, and that's the rub. I mean, that's the downside of that. You run at a shooter, and they decide to put it on the floor. It breaks everything down. And
Khalifa calmly swishes the first to halt the 6-0 KU run. It's an 11-point Jayhawk advantage. 18:03 to play. One more coming for Khalifa at 6'11", 270, 2 pure swishes. He wears a heavy knee brace on his left knee.
It's like one of those offensive linemen knee braces. It might be dangerous.
He looks like a left tackle, I agree. 41-31 Kansas. 18 minutes to play. Nick steps into a 3. Missed it, side iron. Rebound Timberlake. Kicks to KJ. And they'll reset. Nice offensive board by Dickinson. Harris steps back on a 3. It misses strong, and BYU clears it. Kansas not exactly shooting a clinic here from deep. They are 1 of 8.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen. They had the mismatch where KJ had a little guy on him, but a miss by Nell and a rebound by Hunter.
Dickinson piling up the boards. He's now got 9 of them. There's a lob toward KJ. Went through his hands, but he was pushed. And a foul called on BYU. That'll be their 3rd.
And is that on Hall? That's his.
Dickinson getting into it with Nell. And there was contact above the shoulders.
And Nell swung at him. He threw a punch. That's going to be a flagrant, too. I mean, he threw a punch. It didn't connect. But, man, I think that's going to be lights out for Nell. I didn't see the first action by Hunter. Wow.
Hunter pushed back and hit him above the shoulders, so this could go both directions. So we'll get a replay review brought to you by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics, together with LMH Health. After the play was over, Dickinson kind of cut across in front of Nell, and Nell took issue with that. Hunter then flung his arm back, caught him in the neck, and Nell flew his fist forward. I'll be honest with you, partner, I think Hunter is more in jeopardy than Nell.
Yeah, but then he definitely swung, and luckily Nell was shorter than him, so couldn't get above his shoulders. That's going to probably be flagrant ones on both guys. There was no contact. There was contact, but not to the face. So, man, you might have a offsetting flagrant ones. Do you shoot them?
So it started with Dickinson cutting off Nell. He took an interesting path after the foul. Was that intentional by Hunter? Gamesmanship, just trying to kind of bump shoulders?
All I saw was the aftermath. I didn't see Hunter until that replay, and you're right. He took an angle that, he went right at Nell and kind of bodied him a little bit.
Not trying to get a dust up, but you'll see players do this from time to time in a sly, covert kind of way. He didn't have to walk the angle he took. And probably didn't expect what would ensue after the initial hip-to-hip bump.
And here we go. Gary Maxwell.
Jeb Hartness will come over to our side and explain the ruling to TV and radio here. We'll have David Lawrence listed in here and listen to the words of Jeb Hartness. 41-31, KU leading by 10, but this is a big call here. Let's get David Lawrence mic'd up, and David can repeat to us over the air what was said. David, we've got you on a live mic here, David. What did you hear?
I couldn't hear all of it, but certainly 21, which would be Nell of BYU.
Okay. But no ruling on what they actually said. We'll find out over the PA here.
Bill Self's having a conversation with Gary Maxwell and Jeb Hartness as Terry Oglesby's having a conversation with Mark Pope. I'm gonna make a guess here. Here we go.
Has been issued to number 1 Hunter Dickinson
Double
and number 21 Trevin Nell.
So they each
second personal
get
foul.
charged with the technical. So in the case of Nell, he's now got 3. Before all of this happened, we saw the fourth foul issued on Hall. So that's a developing story for their point guard.
Yeah, he's a guy that has the ball in his hands constantly. And Hall at the 17-19 mark, probably not going to see him for 10 minutes. He got the push off early in the second half as Furphy was about to get the rebound, and then that one. And I'm going to throw something up to KJ. Had a hold by,
BYU is going to be whistled for the hold here.
They had a hold by Johnson as KJ was swinging around on the screener. So now that's all of a sudden 5 team fouls on BYU and 3 in 1 second.
No kidding. Kansas gets it into Furphy. He uncorks a 3. In and out, no good. Rebound BYU and Nell.
Now got a really clean look out of the out-of-bounds play, and it was in and out. Johnson and Adams were tangled up. Everybody's getting tangled up.
Robinson, a deep 3, misses short. Rebound tipped about. Kansas fighting for it. Johnny Furphy tracks it down.
And Johnny Furphy, there were 3 white shirts there, but he tipped it to himself. Just another smart play on the defensive glass by Johnny Furphy.
7 rebounds for Furphy. Dickinson has 9. Furphy steps back on a long deuce. Missed it short. Tip try by Hunter won't fall. Rebound BYU and Johnson. 10-point KU lead. Here come the Cougars. Khalifa, the tall Egyptian, passes ahead to Robinson. Easy right-hand runner is true. 8-point KU edge, 41-33.
That's the little backdoor action off the screen, little rub screen, and he keeps running kind of like a UCLA cut to the front of the rim, and kind of a slow developing backdoor cut, an easy bucket for BYU.
41-33 Kansas. Harris, little stop and go, gets around Waterman. Dickinson collects in the corner, hands back to DeJuan. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Harris picks up his dribble left wing, looking for somebody, finds Nick, down to 6, skips over the top. Hunter is down on the ground. KJ fades, fires, misses short, and a rebound to BYU. And they're gonna take a look at something extracurricular that may have knocked Dickinson to the ground.
They waited until Kansas attempted the shot. Terry Oglesby didn't call a foul. It's going to be the under 16 timeout. All I saw was Hunter go to the ground. I didn't see any action. And see if we can. Oh, yeah, Nell just ran right into the midsection of Hunter Dickinson and got an elbow right to the stomach. Not to the groin, but man.
These were the 2 players that were just involved in the double technical. And if indeed they can see that the elbow was intentional and egregious, Nell could be in a world of trouble. That would be his 4th.
Well, and it'd probably be an injection because that'd be a flagrant. Yeah. Second half action brought to you by Meritrust Credit Union, the official financial well-being partner of Kansas Athletics, proudly serving Jayhawk fans and the Lawrence community, federally insured by the NCAA. So we've had 4 minutes of basketball, and a ton has happened.
No kidding. And you don't expect that from BYU of all schools. Interesting. 41-33, Kansas by 8. We'll let you know what they reviewed when we return. 15:54 to go on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Big 12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Big12Sports.
Do you have a reason to smile? If you have healthy teeth, you definitely do. And if you're covered by Delta Dental of Kansas, you have another reason to smile. Delta Dental of Kansas has many fabulous dental insurance coverage plans with a range of options to fit your life. You decide what you need. The whole process is so super easy. Plus, Delta Dental has the largest network of dentists in the entire nation. Yep, another reason to smile. Go to deltadentalks.com and click on Shop for Insurance to get started.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
Hi Jayhawk fans, this is 2008 National Champion Sasha Khan, and you're listening to Kansas Jayhawk Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network.
Always good to hear from Big Sasha. Welcome back, Kansas in front 41-33. What's the outcome of the replay review?
Well, it's interesting. Okay, it's going to be BYU's ball. It's not going to be anything. They didn't come over and tell us anything. I was just waiting to see. Kansas was huddled up on their end thinking they might get the ball, but must have been a nothing burger there, but there was sure a lot of contact.
Nell walks
Terry
away.
Terry Oglesby is talking to Nell and say, hey, no more.
Nell was shaking his head as if to say, I knew there was nothing there, but he's got to be careful. Skating on thin ice after the double technical earlier. 8-point KU lead, 15:42 to go. Robinson dribbling left side. He's their leading scorer at 14 a game. Goes back door, and Waterman has to fire it off the thigh of Timberlake because he was falling out of bounds. It's going to stay with BYU with 10 seconds on the shot clock. 15:35 to go in the game. Kansas 41, BYU 33. Saunders to throw it in. He's one of 4 married men on this play, on this team. He married a former BYU women's basketball player. They get it inside, and Traore up to make the shot. It's good, and down to a 6-point KU lead on a 6-0 BYU run.
Yeah, right back where we started. Started out 6-0 by Kansas, and then right back at you by BYU.
41-35 Kansas. Timberlake plays it into Dickinson. Double team trap comes. Skips high to Harris. Left wing area. Juan will drive. Throws up a floater that misses, but he's fouled. And free throws coming as that's already the 6th foul on BYU, and we played 5 minutes.
And I think that's on Nell. Yep. It's going to be 4 on Nell, 4 on Hall. So they're 2 primary ball handlers, even though all 5 guys can handle it. That's going to be the 2 guys that really get this offense going. Are going to have 4 fouls.
And Harris will get a couple of free throws. Juan's been good at the stripe this year, 79%, 30 of 38. First one here is true. That extends the KU lead to 7. Jayhawks 14-0 at home this year. Bill Self amazingly just 17 home losses in 21 seasons. He has the second free throw crawl off, no good, does Harris. 7-point KU advantage as the Hawks try to stay perfect here at Allen Fieldhouse. Here's a tip by Harris. Ball on the deck, Juan's got it. Harris ahead to Dickinson, misses on the layup, but he's fouled. DeJuan Harris, another steal in the open floor, and Dickinson will shoot 2.
Just active hands that he chased it down, and Hunter Dickinson, the recipient. See if he can get a couple free throws. Those are the easy buckets that Bill Self would love to get. But now that is the 17th foul. This will be 2 free throws, but the rest of the half, Kansas will be shooting free throws as Hunter misses the first of 2.
He is 1 of 4 today. He was 50% on Saturday, 2 of 4. He's now down to 64% in league play. He was at 84.5 in non-con action. Second one hits the front iron, the backboard, and down. Got to get right between the ears right now with that shooting form for the big fella. Kansas leaving a lot of points on the table here with missed free throws. 43-35 Jayhawks. BYU, a step back from Johnson, is buried. Down to a 6-point Kansas edge with 14:30 to go. 43-37 Kansas. Hard to separate here tonight. Hawks have led by as many as 12, but BYU's cut that in half. KJ hooks a pass to Dickinson, deep catch, and then he's pulled on the left arm by Waterman, who's going to pick up his 3rd. Yeah, BYU in all kinds of foul trouble.
Yeah, a nice job by KJ. Drew the defense to the middle. Didn't attempt a tough shot. Got it down to Hunter. He'll go back to the line for a couple.
So you've got Nell and Hall with 4 fouls each. Now 3 on Waterman.
And Kansas on a field goal drought of just under 5 minutes as Hunter knocks down the first. Now they're getting it done at the free throw line. 1 of 2 by DeJuan, 1 of 2 by Hunter. Now the first by Hunter. See if he can hit this second one. Give Kansas back that 8-point lead. He does.
And that's what they need him to be. A guy that gets there more often, and B, a guy that shoots him at north of 75%.
And Bill Self has been lobbying for that for a while with Big 12 officials.
Robinson drives, stripped going up by Kansas. It goes out of bounds and will stay with BYU. 8-point Jayhawk lead, 14:05 to play.
How many times have we said it when DeJuan gets beat just by a little bit, he always catches up and gets a hand in there and saves Kansas a bucket.
You get it into Robinson, launches a three, missed it strong, rebound tipped about, and a foul's going to be called on KJ Adams, who was locking arms with Waterman.
Yeah, it's one of those long rebounds. That's a tough one. Bounce right to a BYU player, and KJ just a step slow, but done a nice job of defending the three here in the second. BYU now 0 of 5.
45-37 Kansas. Robinson bounces it inside. Traore kicks it right back out to Robinson for three. It's good. BYU with another make, their 7th of the night. And it's a 5-point Kansas lead with 13:40 to play.
Yeah, right after I said it, they had the big goose egg. They knock it down. There's going to be a foul on Traore. And Hunter is going to go back to the line for, this will be a 1-and-1, as that's the 19th foul, but way off the ball. Once again, Kansas going to the line.
For the final 1-and-1 of the night for KU, with still 13:35 to go. Incredible. We'll take it. We need it. 5-point Kansas lead. Hawks have shot their free throws at 66% today. As a team on the season, they're normally 73%. First free throw, good. Pure swish. That's 3 in a row for Dickinson, who had opened 1 of 4. Hunter now with 13 points to go along with 9 rebounds, 1 board shy of a 15th double-double. He's currently 11th nationally at double-doubles. Got the pair to fall. He'll come off the floor as Parker Brown re-enters for Kansas.
And Hunter with Kansas' last 5 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. So crucial time here with an interesting group on the floor. Bill Self sticking with that substitution pattern.
47-40, Kansas leading, 13:25 to play. Robinson on the left wing, feeds into Traore. Backing down on Parker Brown, and what's the call? A whistle from out front, and a hold is called on Parker Brown. Boy, I didn't see that.
Well, he made the bucket, so you'll take the foul, but yeah, I'm with you, partner. I didn't really see a foul. There was a lot of back and forth down there, but I would imagine they'll go right back to that one.
47-40, Kansas. That's the 4th team foul on the Jayhawks compared to 9 on BYU. Traore bully balls Brown and lays it up and in. 47-42. He's like a bulldozer inside as he's 6'6", 240.
Yeah, not a big guy, but man, he plays bigger than 6'6".
47-42 Kansas. Jackson out to Parker Brown, top of the key. Hands off to McDowell. Jamari picks up his dribble on the elbow, in trouble, has to pass out to KJ, 8 to shoot. KJ in the lane, forces up a miss. Rebound goes through his hands, out of bounds, off of BYU. They say it was Saunders that touched it last. The shot never hit the rim, so there's only 3.5 on the shot clock.
And that's where, with this group on the floor, who takes the lead? Elmarco is going to be the trigger man out underneath the basket.
Jackson plays it underneath to KJ, forces one up that wildly misses on an air ball, and then the shot clock expires as BYU is about to knock it out of bounds. 2 wild misses for KJ. Just a 5-point Kansas lead with 12:36 to play.
Well, like we talked before the game, how long will Bill Self stay with this group? If BYU were to get a bucket, does he give these guys their 2 or 3 minutes?
We'd like to get underneath the media timeout at 12 minutes. Here's a steal for KJ, who took it right away from Traore. Here comes Kansas. A lob is overthrown. Jackson's intercepted. Here comes BYU. Robinson, a transition 3, bullseye. And it's a 2-point KU lead. BYU on the run. They are 3 for their last 3. And Bill Self's going to have to pull Elmarco Jackson. Had the right idea, but poor execution. That was an easy interception for the Cougars.
Yeah, Johnson was just playing free safety back there. He was waiting for Elmarco to try to throw the ball to Parker. Easy pickoff. And then Robinson makes the big 3 on the other end. Bill Self with a timeout, probably coming back in. with his main guys is it's a 2-point game.
It's a 16-6 BYU run. Kansas had its biggest lead at 41-29, but all Cougars ever since. The Jayhawk lead is down to a deuce.
Jayhawk fans, get to Rally House today and shop for the latest KU gear, including exclusive styles featuring your Kansas athletes. Shop Rally House in-store and online today.
And Bud Light is a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. 47-45 Jayhawks, 12:10 to play on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
BMW of Topeka is a proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics, and we want you to drive to the tournament again this year in a new BMW. That's right. Enter for the opportunity to drive a new BMW to our Jayhawks first-round games in the tournament. Can't wait? Come to BMW of Topeka to select from our large selection of new BMWs. You will feel like you just hit a long three-pointer from the corner. BMW of Topeka, 3030 South Kansas Avenue, or online at bmwtopeka.com.
With Midco Business, the bright side is always at work for you. It's where bright tech meets even brighter service. You'll enjoy a glitch-free, carefree day-to-day with more gigabytes for your buck. Plus, service that means business. With all this, you might just whistle more while you work. So, ready to enjoy the Midco bright side? Visit midco.com/business today.
This is Kansas Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt. Success on game day starts with doing your homework. Investing is no different. That's why you should visit smartinvestks.com, an investor empowerment initiative from the Kansas Insurance Department. Whether you are just coming off the bench or are a seasoned pro, smartinvestks.com is here to coach you on how to avoid investment fraud by chalking up the offensive and defensive X's and O's. Have a game plan before you invest. Visit smartinvestks.com. That's smartinvestks.com.
12:10 to go. Kansas by just 2. The Jayhawks have not had a field goal in 7 minutes and 3 seconds. Now, part of that is the flurry of fouls that kept them from attempting field goals, and they've done a better job at the free throw line of late, now up to 71%. But a 7-minute, 3-second field goal drought is not a way to protect the lead, and consequently, a 12-point edge is cut to 2.
Yeah, and against a team that can really shoot the three, like we said, they're never out of it, and right now it's a one-possession game. They've hit their last couple of threes, started out 0 of 5 this second half, so see what Kansas and Bill Self draw up here. More than likely, it's something down to Hunter Dickinson. And Mark Pope and the BYU staff has scouted this very well, and they're not allowing that over the top. So Kansas has to look for option B and option C.
BYU typically forces 12 turnovers a game. Kansas has already turned it over 10 times with still 12 minutes to play. And keep in mind, they had just 1 turnover in the game's first 12 minutes. Here's a lob toward Hunter. Deep catch on the left block. Misses on the jump hook, though. He knew it when he released it. It was short. Waterman with the rebound. Here come the Cougars with a chance to tie or take the lead. Robinson, transition 3, misses short. Rebound tipped about. It's on the deck. Timberlake's got it. And a foul over the back on Saunders. That'll be their 10th. How about the hustle by Nick Timberlake?
Yeah, that's a 50-50 ball right there. And if he doesn't go to the ground, Kansas doesn't get that possession. Nick Timberlake will have 2 free throws when we come out of this break. So a break there is Robinson, who had just hit a 3, missed it. Nice job by Nick Timberlake on the long rebound.
Robinson has half of BYU's 3-point makes tonight. He is 4 of 8. You would ill afford or want to be in a 2-point lead scenario right in the game with Robinson having the ball in his hands. That could be a recipe for upset. Kansas needs some breathing room when we return.
It's a new season at Kohl's with everyday styles at great prices. You can get more of what you want for less. Find go-tos for going everywhere and perfect picks for your home. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today.
And if you're looking for a job, have you considered one in the oil and natural gas industry? They're currently paying their highest wages in history. Find out more at kansasstrong.com. 47-45 Jayhawks, 11:40 to play on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
This is the tale of Powerball. I'm your ticket to dream. Powerball can transform into many things, like a boat. Dream bigger, eh? How about a castle?
With jackpots starting at $20 million, there's no limit on dreaming. Just gotta pick your lucky numbers, and you could be on your way to
living in a castle.
CKSLottery.com for details.
We wrote the book of luck.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks to help grow businesses, communities, families. A legacy of capability and technology that has made Ford F-Series America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Serious question. Have you ever shopped deals so good that you had to go back for round two? Because I have. Yep, I'm talking about Kohl's clearance. I just saved 85% after an extra 50% off so many, maybe too many, great finds. I got myself fleece sweats and a coat, my kids some PJs, my husband a sweater, and more. So going back to Kohl's for round three would be crazy, right? Select styles, extra 50% off clearance valid through February 29th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey Jayhawk fans, it's Christian Brown of the Denver Nuggets, and you're listening to Kansas Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
World champion Christian Brown of the Denver Nuggets. Welcome back. Live tonight inside Allen Fieldhouse. It's a 47-45 Kansas lead, 11:40 to play. Jayhawks with free throws coming out of the timeout for Nick Timberlake, who already tonight has hit a pair. He's 0 for 4 from the field, but 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Timberlake coming off a season-high 13 points on Saturday, a number he's hit with regularity.
And another visit to the ESPN top 10.
Yes.
Was that alley-oop. Took the contact, threw it down. We're going to officially lose the sneaky of sneaky athleticism. It is no longer sneaky. It is athletic. I don't know why we ever really started saying that.
First free throw here for Nick is good. Front iron, backboard, and through. He's scored 13 points on 4 occasions, including twice in his last 3 games. He just can't get over that hump. That's his KU season high 4 times over. Hits both free throws here to extend the lead to 4 with 11:40 to go.
And that no field goal streaks continuing, creeping up on 8 minutes, but was it 7 of our last 8 from the free throw line? Tough guard here to play. Tough guard here for Jamari. Now he gets matched up with Traore.
He goes right around him, hooks a pass in the corner. Waterman for 3, bullseye. And BYU has cut it to 1 with 11:15 remaining.
And that's what they do. They post up, they get the mismatch, and you think everybody goes down to double, and that leaves the shooter open in the corner.
Harris at the top gets a screen from Hunter, puts up a floater. He connects. DeJuan Harris extends the lead to 3 with 11 minutes to play.
Well, his float game has gotten so much better throughout the year. He struggled with that early on, but man, he's back to the old DeJuan.
51-48 Kansas. Robinson driving on Dickinson, fades, fires, missed it short. Rebound Hunter. There's that 15th double-double for Hunter Dickinson. Top 10 nationally now.
They're going to get Waterman with his 4th foul on a little nickel dimer, as we give credit to Bill Raftery. Just kind of body blowed Hunter Dickinson as he ran down the court, and that's 4 on Waterman, who just made their last 3.
I was on BYU's pregame, and Greg Wrubell was asking me about why Kansas is so good at home, and I talked about the fans and the building and Bill Self's coaching, and I said, and you'll find out as you work your way around the conference and make friends with the other announcers that the rest of the league thinks we get every call at home. Probably right now he's thinking about that, as that's the 11th whistle of the second half against BYU, and we haven't even reached the 10-minute mark. Free throw by Dickinson misses. Many of which have been justified, but I agree with you. That last one was awfully ticky-tack.
Yeah, it really was. Had nothing to do with the play. He was just running down the floor, and now Mark Pope's going to go back with the 2 guys that have 4 fouls, Nell and Hall.
Second free throw. Hunter missed them both. Oh, my. Got to get better at that. Now 6 of 11 is Dickinson. The 11 free throws attempted is awesome. That's season high type totals, but you got to do better than 6 of 11 on the makes. 3-point KU edge. Hall with the ball, playing with 4 fouls. They've got 2 Cougars on the floor with 4 fouls each. He flings in the corner. 3-pointer by Johnson. Misses strong. Rebound to Juan Harris. KU dodged a bullet right there.
Well, every time they shoot a 3, I think it's safe to say we dodged the bullet.
KU still trying for some separation. Timberlake steps through, floater, misses. Rebound Dickinson, right back up and misses. And there's an injured Cougar. It's Johnson that's down. Hunter missed a bunny from point-blank range. It goes out of bounds, and it's BYU ball with 9:55 to play.
You know, Nick probably got fouled on that drive. He took a lot of contact, knocked him offline. And Hunter, back-to-back possessions where he could have cleaned up with 4 points. Keeps that Kansas lead at just 3 at the 9:55 mark.
He's had a really good game of 14 and 11, but it could easily be 20 and 11 right now with some of the missed free throws and close range misses as well. 9:45 to play, 51-48 Kansas. BYU weaving around the perimeter. Nell guarded by Dickinson out front. Kicks back to Hall. Shot clock showing 10. Nell splits 2 defenders. Layup misses. Rebound Johnny Furphy, who pulled it away from Hunt.
Well, Hunter missed an easy one, and Nell just missed an even easier one.
3-point KU edge inside Dickinson on a double team, and he's fouled on the catch. And Robinson says, "Are you kidding me?" BYU starting to show some body language with all these fouls piling up. 12 whistles against the visitors at now the 9:24 mark of the second half. Hunter's got to hit these free throws. We referenced in the mid-80s in non-con play. He's now down to 64% in conference play. And this one misses again. And you hate to bemoan the point, but this will get you beat in March. After this game with 2 goals in McCarthy Hall, you hope some of these guys are shooting free throws later tonight. He misses the pair. 0 for his last 4 for Dickinson. Now 6 of 13 in the game on a season high of attempts.
Yeah, we're lucky that BYU hasn't capitalized. They're a couple empty possessions after Kansas goes up by 3.
It is so mental right now with Dickinson on his shooting form. I'm not talking about hook shots or a little tight around the rim stuff. I'm talking about form shooting. Inside Khalifa, rejected by Dickinson. He atones for the free throws there. Rebound Kansas. Here come the Jayhawks. Dickinson out to Harris. 3-point KU lead, 8:45 to play. Dickinson lobs into KJ, deep catch, hooks out to Furphy for 3. No, he missed it off the heel. Rebound BYU, but they fumble it. KJ dives for it. Kansas has got it. It's a tie-up. It'll be BYU ball, but that is floor-burn basketball at its best. Somewhere Jared Haas is raising a glass as KJ dove twice to keep that ball alive.
Yeah, it looked like Robinson was going to get it. He fumbled it, and KJ gets dirty. Bill Self's going to get Hunter Dickinson out of the game just to kind of reset him, have a quick convo with him, and kind of get his mind right. It's not physical, it's mental right now for the big fella. Missed a 2-footer and then 4 free throws in a row.
The 13 free throws attempted surpasses the 11 he had versus Kentucky. It's a season high. Problem is he was 10 of 11 versus Kentucky, 6 of 13 tonight. Robinson trying to get around Furphy. Little stop and go. Reverse layup is good. They've cut it to a 1-point game with 8:15 to play.
And Robinson just brings some athleticism to a team that is more strategic. And there's a nice move. That's a foul on DeJuan. Yeah.
Harris
just closed out on DeJuan. And he gets the line. See if he can break this streak. But the field goal numbers are still awful.
Kansas in a scoring drought of 3 minutes. They are 1 for their last 12 from the floor. And for the free throw line, just 61%. They've been blessed with 23 free throw attempts, but they've hit only 14. They were in the double bonus quicker than you could say rock chalk in this second half, but another free throw miss. This one by Harris, who had been 2 for 2. Or rather 1 of 2, I should say. He's now 1 of 3. Here comes the next.
Is that 5 consecutive missed free throws?
It is. Harris is second. Pure swish. 52-50 Kansas. 8:05 to play. An ugly, ugly game here tonight. But the Hawks clinging to a 2-point lead as 16,300 come to their feet, imploring the Jayhawks to get a defensive stop. Traore inside, muscling on Parker, and a charge is called. field. Parker Brown gets down and dirty, and his biggest play of the day comes on a drawn charge.
And a smart play by Parker Brown. Triore is a guy that likes to dip that shoulder. May not have been much of a foul, but he dipped that shoulder, and Parker sold it. Mark Pope's arguing with Terry Oglesby, but Kerry Maxwell made that call. Got to be careful here.
52-50. Pope in his 5th season is 106-49 at
he might just teed him up. Yep, there he goes. There he goes. I was waiting for it. Mark Pope can't do that, and he might get kicked out.
His assistants are holding it back.
He's got to be. I mean, the amount of team fouls is now, what is it? Where are we at? 14 this half called on BYU. So Kansas will have the ball and have 2 free throws when we come back.
Who do you pick to shoot the free throws?
I think you got to go with Dewan,
who's 2 for 4 today, and that's...
Well, Nick Timberlake is 4 of 4. So
I put Johnny Furphy there.
Oh, that's a good point. My bad. You're exactly right. Johnny Furphy.
52-50 when we come back. A 2-point KU lead, 7:50 to play on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
$7:50 to go. Kansas by 2. Self elects to go with the senior point guard to shoot the charities instead of Furphy, and first of which is good. Rattled around and crawled in.
I should have stuck with my initial guess. One rattles 1 in, rattles 2 in. So a big swing right there. Looked like BYU could tie it up as Triore had position. Parker Brown with an intelligent play to draw the charge. The technical on Pope. So a 2-point game that could have been a tie game turns into a 4-point lead and the ball for Kansas.
And yet you don't feel great right now because Kansas has had the benefit of 14 whistles in the first 12 minutes of the second half, and yet they only lead by 4. Their halftime lead has actually shrunk. Time to hit some shots. It made just 3 buckets all half. Timberlake in the corner. Throws out toward Parker Brown. 10 to shoot for the Jayhawks. Harris, a lob to Parker. Deep catch. Big slam. There's your play of the half. 2 old school friends with a big-time rim finish.
Yeah, a little 4-0 run that time. A little fake screen by Parker. He runs to the rim. Great delivery by DeJuan Harris.
The childhood buddies combine on the alley-oop lob. 6-point KU lead. Robinson for 3. Missed it. Rebound BYU. They'll kick it out. It was Hall on the offensive glass that time. Hall driving around Furphy, bumped off line on a foul called on Kansas. They'll get 2 free throws.
One of those long rebounds after the Robinson miss. Hall chased it down, got it back, and he'll go to the line for a couple. But what a sequence of events Kansas with a 6-point lead after the Parker Brown alley-oop.
I mean, Juan put it right there on the rim to where all he had to do was catch and drop it down.
Parker almost overran it.
Right.
There's a made free throw by Hall to cut it to 5.
Hall only shoots him at 59%. This is a good free throw shooting team at 73%, but he would be considered the weak link. And you rarely see that from a point guard, a sub 60% free throw shooter. He buries both of these, though, to cut it to 4 with 6:56 to play.
A little three-quarter court pressure by BYU just to throw Kansas off a little bit.
Hawks have 4 starters on the court and Brown in place of Dickinson. They break the pressure, lobbing over the top to KJ, and now DeJuan will set up the play. Harris dribbling on the tail feather of the Jayhawk at center court. Kansas by 4. Harris, head of the circle, drives right side, steps through, running hook shot, misses. Rebound BYU, and then a reach-in foul on Parker Brown. A cheap one there, will be the 6th on the Jayhawks, and Hunter Dickinson will quickly check in for Parker. So BYU will be in the bonus going forward.
Well, they dialed up a play where we've seen it 1,000 times where KJ sets a screen on DeJuan, and you try to get that little pocket pass to give KJ some room to roam. BYU took that away and forced DeJuan into a difficult shot.
Not normally the angle he likes, as he was parallel with the rim by the time he put it up right on the baseline. Robinson lobs inside, tipped by Timberlake, and then they say knocked out of bounds by Nick. He almost had the deflection and the steal. His defense has noticeably gotten better the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he really got the deflection, and man, Traore got his hand on the ball, but Nick fumbled it out. But a great job of being active. Now got to play D for the last 10 seconds.
Hall gets around Harris. Easy layup is good. It's a 2-point KU lead with 6 minutes to play.
You don't see that very often where DeJuan gets beat that bad off the dribble. Shows how important Hall is after being out with those 4 fouls. He's got their last 4 points.
Harris out to Furphy, who's been quiet. After 7 quick ones to start the game, he's just got 10 on the full night. Here's Harris off a screen, floater on the way, drilled. DeJuan Harris again. When KU needs a bucket, it's go-to DeJuan.
Yeah, get that little dribble handoff.
Nell for 3, misses wildly. Rebound Nick Timberlake. Hawks by 4 with the ball. 58-54. Here comes Kansas. Furphy off a screen. He puts up a floater. Misses it strong. And the rebound to BYU's Traore. Up the floor, Nell. Transition 3. Bullseye. They cut it to 1 just like that. 5:10 to go. It's 58-57 Kansas. And that 3-point make is their 10th of the game. Their 19th contest of 10-plus threes. Harris driving left side. Lobs back for Timberlake. 4:55 to go. Nick picks up his dribble, had it knocked loose, couldn't pick it up for fear of a double dribble, and then they're going to put a foul on Kansas going for the loose ball. Johnny Furphy just gets ticketed for his 4th personal foul, and BYU will have free throws for their first lead of the game.
Yeah, Nick Timberlake already used his dribble, dropped it, and he can pick it back up, but I don't know how that's a foul on Johnny Furphy.
He could pick it up if it was touched by BYU. He wasn't sure if it was.
Bill Self's going to ask Jeb, like, how is that on Johnny Furphy? That's going to be his 3rd. Excuse me, that's his 4th. And Bill's asking, can you go back and look at it?
BYU has never led, but if Hall hits the front end and the back end, they'll have their first lead. Again, he typically is a 59% free throw shooter. This one is pure, and we are tied. KU blows a 12-point second-half lead, something that's happened in Manhattan and in Orlando. You rarely see it here at home.
Kansas doing a nice job taking care of the ball, but now has 11 turnovers as BYU takes its first lead as Hall knocks them both down. And since he's checked back in, he's been the Jayhawk killer.
Jayhawks have struggled mightily offensively here, despite all the help they've gotten on so many whistles against BYU. Here comes Harris, up, under, misses, but tipped home by KJ Adams. A heroic tap-in for KJ Adams.
Just a wild attempt by DeJuan Harris, and KJ cleans it up. They're going to get a foul on Nick Timberlake.
and all kinds of whistles. It was on the floor. Saunders kept going with it. He's going to get a 1-and-1.
Yeah, Gary Maxwell called it out of bounds. He didn't hear the whistle, but it was a foul on Nick Timberlake.
Well, it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Saunders, who shoots him at 71%. BYU is 11 of 13 compared to KU 17 of 27. And right now, all those missed free throws by Kansas are looming large. But this front end is missed. He missed it side iron, did Richie Saunders, and the rebound to KU. 1 point Jayhawk lead, 4:15 to go. One of the worst halves offensively for Kansas all year, but they're white-knuckling this one to the finish line, clinging to a 1 point lead. Furphy out to KJ at the top. A lob toward Hunter. Skips a pass. Furphy for three. He missed it. Rebound BYU. Halfway down and spun out. The Jayhawks are 1 of 11 from beyond the arc.
It was the right play. The double team came and Hunter found the shooter across the court.
Hall for the lead. Buried it. And BYU goes up 2 with 3:40 to play. Does Bill Self take a timeout here?
But he tried to get a yeah, he's going to take one.
What has been a miserable offensive half for Kansas right now has the Jayhawks down 2 after leading by a dozen, just mere moments, 2 minutes into that first stretch of second half action.
And Hall's been the difference since he checked back in with those 4 fouls. He sat on the bench for about 10 minutes, and he's come in, made all 4 of his free throws and a couple buckets to give BYU the lead.
Kevin McCullough, all he can do is sit and watch. You hope somehow, some way, he could find a way to get back to action, missing his 5th game in the last 8, and right now, his absence looms large. 62-60, BYU with its biggest lead. 3:35 to go on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Hey there, Jayhawk fans. Coach Self here. When you're getting ready for game day, make sure you start with the Dillon's app. The app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points as well. Best of all, when you shop with the app, you'll enjoy the same low prices you'd find in store. So check out the app and save while you're cheering us on to another championship season. Dillon's, fresh for everyone. Rock Chalk.
Would you like to learn how AI-driven financial strategies can empower you to meet evolving challenges with confidence? OneStream can help you do just that. It's the next generation intelligent finance platform that streamlines corporate performance management processes such as planning, forecasting, financial close, and consolidation. Choose the smarter option. Choose OneStream. Go to onestream.com/AI and streamline your business today.
Hey Jayhawk fans, it's Landon Lucas, and you're listening to Kansas Basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
A Kansas team that typically averages 77 a game has been held to 60. BYU averages 83. Hawks have held them to 62, but here's the problem. Kansas in the second half is just 6 of 21. They are 13 of 20 from the free throw line this half. They've had 20 free throws and yet have not capitalized. Consequently, BYU took a 12-point deficit and now leads by 2. They have hit 10 more threes than have the Jayhawks. That's 30 extra points beyond the arc. 11 makes for the Cougars, 1 for Kansas.
Yeah, and right after that technical, Kansas got that alley-oop, goes up 56-50, but a 12-4 run by BYU after that. And that's so often we see Kansas just break a team, but BYU fought right back, not intimidated at all.
Cougars now up to 34% from three. They pass ahead to KJ. A little floater, misses, strong rebound Cougars, and then a quick foul by KJ, his third. Don't do that against a good free throw shooting team. You just automatically give them two charities on the other end. And this just kind of feels like one of those odd nights where Kansas is missing bunnies, they're missing free throws, they've been in a funk this entire half, and all the while BYU just kind of laying in the weeds is going to rise up and bite you. Waterman goes to the line.
Now 6 of 22 from the field in the second half.
Waterman's an 83% foul shooter, and he swishes the first. They can make this a 4-point edge with 3:26 to go.
And you got a quick hitter. You got exactly what you wanted. We've seen KJ make that hundreds of times, but when you compound the miss with a foul, it's going to be a miss there. So only a 3-point lead for BYU, but what does Kansas go to when things aren't going well offensively? Usually it's Hunter.
Rebound went to KJ, his fourth. 63-60 BYU, 3:15 to play. Furphy picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. Lobs to Dickinson on the left elbow. Now KJ finds Nick for the tie. He buried it! Nick Timberlake, with the biggest three of his Jayhawk career, has tied this game with 3 minutes to play. Finally, the lid comes off for Nick Timberlake.
Yeah, that was penetration by KJ Adams.
Waterman, does he have an answer? Yes. Right back in the face of Kansas. Waterman throws it home from three. 66-63 Cougars, 2:38 to go.
And Mark Pope was trying to get a timeout right after that three.
Here comes Harris off a screen from KJ. Hits Hunter. He'll try a three. Bullseye! Hunter Dickinson saved his biggest shot for the biggest moment, and this game is tied at 66 all.
Who needs free throws? Threes are worth more. Hunter Dickinson with the equalizer. Now can Kansas get a stop?
He'd only hit 3 in the last 6 weeks, but he drills that one. Now Robinson leans in on KJ. Wild shot misses, but KJ hit with his 4th foul, and Robinson, their best free throw shooter, will now get a pair with 2:04 to go.
Yeah. Robinson definitely initiated the contact, but KJ wasn't 100% vertical, and you'd want that call on the other end. So after the back-to-back threes by Kansas, after shooting 10% for the game, Robinson makes the first.
Dickinson was 3 for his last 28 threes, and he hits that one.
This building does some crazy things, doesn't it?
One more coming for Robinson. BYU by 1, and now a 2-point BYU lead as he completes the pair. 68-66, 2:04 to go.
Well, the difference in the game right now is the three-point line and the free throw line.
Harris brings it up the floor down 2, gets a screen in the high post from KJ, throws back to KJ, leans in, partially blocked, he missed it. Rebound Waterman. Cougars with the lead and the ball with 1:48 to play. The Jayhawks' meager Big 12 title hopes could be extinguished if the Cougars close them out here with 1:35 remaining.
Yeah, they got the switch they wanted.
Hall, a step back 3, got it! 5-point Cougar lead. Timeout Bill Self. No, timeout BYU. And give the Cougars a world of credit. KU had the benefit of a good whistle for the first 12 minutes or so, but they stayed within striking distance, and they have pounced in the last 8 minutes, going from down 12 to up 5 with 1:31 remaining.
And that's the switch they wanted. They brought their big out, got Hunter Dickinson on Hall. He had to respect the drive, and all Hall did was just step back. And again, he comes into this game after sitting out for 10 minutes, and he's been perfect. Couple threes, a layup, 4 free throws. Difference in the ball game.
They had a season low 6 3-point makes in Manhattan. They drive up the road to Lawrence and they hit 13. 13 of 34, 38% from 3. Again, they are 19-2 when they shoot better than 32%.
And it's 7 of their last 10. They started out this half 0 of 5, so still plenty of time for Kansas, but cannot afford any more empty possessions. And they've gone to KJ twice in the last couple minutes. He's been unsuccessful. Got to get something different on this look here. By no means do you have to take threes.
KJ's been amongst the nation's leaders, let alone the Big 12. 12 in field goal percentage all season, but just 5 of 13 today. He was our player of the first half. Brilliant in the first, but struggled mightily here in the second. Kansas in a world of hurt with 90 seconds to play, down 5. Here comes Harris. Needs some urgency on this possession. Harris passes right side. Furphy faked on a 3. Gives it back to Dewan. Screen comes from Hunter. He'll stop and go. Harris tight ropes the baseline. Out to Timberlake. Nick drives, hangs, fires, misses. Long rebound goes to the Cougars. 1:08 to play. The Cougars with the ball in a 5-point lead. And Bill Self staring down the barrel at just his 18th loss ever here in the fog.
And that can't be what Kansas wanted on that possession. A fadeaway, leaning 2-point attempt by Nick Timberlake.
Hall killing some clock out front and a quick foul by Hunter Dickinson. They were able to take 22 seconds off the clock. The good news is they fouled BYU's worst free throw shooter on the floor.
Well, he's made his last 4, and they use way too much.
His last 4.
He's way too much time. Bill Self hits the scoreboard over here, so frustrated that Hunter would foul right there. You get it down under 10, not at all when you needed a foul.
Free throw misses from a 59% shooter, Hall. 71-66. Hawks need some breaks and some incredible shots in the final 48.4 seconds.
And obviously need a quick hitter here. 3 or 2. They just cannot afford another empty possession.
Second free throw is good. He rattled it in.
So it's still a 2-possession game, so that changes things a little bit. Probably got to get one up here.
72-66 BYU. Harris up the floor to Furphy. Johnny trying to drive, cut off by Hall. Kicks out to Nick. Gets a handoff. Nick for 3. Missed it short. Rebound Harris. Out to Nick again. Launches. Misses. Long rebound. KJ, who's pushed. No foul call. Harris at the top. Down to 28 seconds to play. And a foul as Hunter Dickinson had it poked away. Not what KU wanted, as now 20-some seconds come off the clock.
Got a couple of good looks. You can't ask for more than that, but did get 2 offensive rebounds. Now Hunter can cut this to 4, and you have to foul right away. But you got to make these free throws.
It was the 5th foul on Hall, who provided such a spark for BYU. So many big shots to surge them past Kansas. Cougars, who are 0-1 all-time in this building, haven't played here since 1971, are 26 seconds away from a stunner. And Greg, I don't know about you, but if Kansas doesn't pull this out, this one stings worse than Orlando, Morgantown, or Manhattan. Because Kansas, as Hunter misses another free throw, was gifted with a great whistle over the first 12 minutes of this half and just did not cash in. They never lose at home, but they've given this game away as he misses both. Rebound BYU and a quick foul by Harris. Hunter Dickinson from the free throw line is now 6 of 15. The 15 are a career high. The 6 for 40% is a career low, and fans are filing out with 24 seconds remaining behind perhaps the most tough-to-swallow loss Kansas has had all season, because the Jayhawks just don't perform this way typically at home, and it wasn't for lack of chances. They were playing shorthanded without Kevin McCullough, but man, this is a team that shot 29 free throws tonight, and yet they've only hit 17.
Well, like I just said, the difference in the game is the three-point line and the free throw line. 13 of 34 for BYU from the three-point line, and 16 of 21 now from the free throw line. Kansas, 12 misses.
Now a 3-possession game. Traore hit them both. 8-point BYU lead. KU's going to lose and fall out of the Big 12 race, and now be in jeopardy of having to play a day earlier in Kansas City. The backdoor cut to Timberlake is broken up with a foul. But this game is a mere formality at this point. An 8-point deficit with 18 seconds remaining. Timberlake will go to the free throw line.
And you had some life. You know, you had the 3 by Nick Timberlake to tie it up. Then they with the equalizer on the other end. Then Hunter Dickinson ties it up. But after that, just got nothing. Nick Timberlake makes the free throw, but like you said, it's a formality at this point.
Hunter Dickinson, 6 of 15 from the free throw line. Unbelievable stat by the #1 player in portal history and a first-team All-Big 12 selection more than likely, but tonight, despite his 15th double-double, all those points given away with missed free throws. Both free throws good by Timberlake, who comes off. 18 seconds remaining, Kansas down 6. Got to have a steal here. Jamari McDowell hit the deck. Was a timeout taken first? Yes, timeout BYU. We'll give Mark Pope's team a ton of credit. They could have been left for dead, down 12 early in the second half. They just kept hanging around, and Kansas kept the door open by failing to convert free throws. Again, they were in the double bonus quicker than we've ever seen, and have arguably their worst free throw shooting line of the night of the season here this evening. With 31 attempts, those last 2 makes get you above 60%, but you got to hit 70 or better, and if you do, you win this game.
Well, you know, you can also look at the field goal percentage numbers. I mean, you shoot 29% in the second half. Now, a lot of that, there weren't as many attempts because you were going to the free throw line, but no efficiency on offense. BYU did a great job of taking Hunter out of the paint. You know, he posted up, but the couple times that he got buckets underneath was when they didn't send double teams or Kansas got him in transition and he sealed guys off early. But in the half-court set, that wasn't there. And when you're not making threes, who's going to get buckets for you? It's usually DeJuan or KJ with runners.
Kansas needs a steal and a quick 3. They get it in, and a foul of Johnson by Elmarco Jackson. He'll walk to the other end and shoot 2 free throws.
Very rarely do you see a visiting team close the way BYU is closed. 56-50. Kansas takes the lead after the Parker Brown alley-oop. And then a 24-12 run by BYU, and about to be built on here as Johnson goes to the line.
Spencer Johnson became a father on Thursday. He's one of 4 married Cougars on this team. He's the only father. He's going to be able to take this game ball home to his baby boy son and say, just 4 or 5 days into your life, we logged the biggest road win in the modern era of BYU basketball. One of the biggest all time. First free throw good, second also good. 8-point Cougar lead with 18 seconds to go. Patrick Cassidy will come on for Kansas. Bill Self waves the white flag here. Jayhawks about to hand coach Self just his 18th loss in 21 seasons here. Johnny Furphy, a transition 3 is an air ball, and that pretty much sums up the half for Kansas and the night for Kansas. Bill Self telling his guys not to foul. BYU will get it in and dribble out the final 12.6. And as I said, Greg, this one stings worse than any of those road losses because
no question.
It's as tough of a look as we've seen Kansas have in a half all season.
Oh, no question. Yeah, it's one that you go back and watch the film and you know, I don't know how else to say it. It's inefficient offense and missed free throws. And it's all right there. It'll be interesting to see what Coach has to say in my post-game interview, but not going to be a happy locker room, and nor should it be.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Jayhawk Basketball. (76-68) BYU with a historic win in Allen Fieldhouse. Give them all the credit in the world. Kansas coughed this one up and honestly gave it away with so many missed opportunities offensively in what was their toughest, least efficient offensive half of basketball all season. 76-68, BYU wins on the Equity Bank Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to live play-by-play coverage of Kansas Jayhawk basketball on the Jayhawk Sports Network from Learfield. Today's game has been brought to you by Delta Dental of Kansas. Unleash your smile power. Learn more about individual and family plans at deltadentalks.com. By the University of Kansas Health System, an official healthcare provider of Kansas athletics. Together with LMH Health, the Kansas Lottery. Download the Play On app and dream bigger. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Joy, Kansas 988 hotline, a suicide and crisis lifeline. Call 988. And by Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. The Kansas Insurance postgame show is next as our coverage continues on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Tammy Peterman, president of the Kansas City Division of the University of Kansas Health System. We are proud to once again be the only hospital recognized by U.S. News and World Report as the best in Kansas and Kansas City, with 8 nationally ranked medical and surgical adult specialties. We remain committed to providing outstanding health care delivered in the most compassionate way right here at home. Learn more at kansashealthsystem.com/compassionate care.
Dear basketball fans, want to drive a winner? Get in a Toyota and see how impressive they are. The RAV4 is a versatile playmaker built to get the crowd going. The Highlander is a slam dunk when it comes to space. And the Camry is a fast break of fun and reliability. Plus, these Toyotas come with available all-wheel drive, so you can drive the lane with power. Visit Toyota.com to learn more, or check out your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
Just like Bill Self and his coaching staff place their best players in the right positions for success, so does the Brush Group with their multifaceted marketing team of Sun Graphics, Don Levy Litho, and Brush Art Corporation. Sun Graphics is the proud printing partner of Kansas Athletics and is known for marketing support that is nothing short of exceptional. Make sure you are scoring with all your marketing efforts by contacting Sun Graphics today. Proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Looking to elevate your next event? Introducing Uplift Coffee's new catering services. Perfect for company events, family get-togethers, or whatever event you're planning. Treat your guests to your choice of specialty coffee and non-coffee drinks, delicious food options, and in-house pastries straight from our own bakery. Pickup and delivery options available. Visit upliftcoffeeshop.com to place your catering order today.
Go from 0 to 500,000 in one ticket. Introducing the Premier Play Instant Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win one of 4 top prizes of $500,000 instantly, plus a second chance at another $500,000 through the Play On app. It's Kansas Lottery's largest instant prize ever. Let the dreaming begin. Visit kslottery.com for details.
Welcome to the Kansas Insurance Postgame Show on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield. The Kansas Insurance Postgame Show is presented by the University of Kansas Health System, the official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics. Together with LMH Health, Wendy's, the official hamburger of Kansas Athletics. And by Kansas Insurance. For all your farm, business, home, and auto insurance needs across the state, call an agent with Kansas Insurance. Now to break down today's game, let's go back courtside.
Welcome back to Allen Fieldhouse. A tough pill to swallow for Kansas here tonight as BYU, who trailed by as many as 12 early in the second half, comes all the way back to win by 8. A historic win for the Cougars program, who had just fallen out of the top 25 yesterday. They're going to make a big jump back into the land of the ranked teams next week. They win 76-68. It's time to pick a player of the game, and this feels like a Monday night a couple of weeks ago in Lubbock when Bill Self said don't even pick one. He was so frustrated with that 29-point loss in Lubbock. This one wasn't by nearly as much, but it's a big deal when KU loses at home. They've been 14-0 at home heading into tonight. But for just the 18th time in 21 years under Self, Kansas is on the wrong side of the final score, and it's tough to pick a player of the game.
Yeah, it really is. And let's not tell Coach Self that we did, but I know we got to do it. I think early on it would have been Johnny Furphy, but after starting out hot, he really struggled. 4-12 from the field. Hunter Dickinson was the story of the night, 6 or 15 from the free throw line. So our player of the half was KJ Adams. I guess we'll go with KJ Adams.
And yet in the second half, I think he was, 1 of 6?
In the most unenthusiastic endorsement by me for a player of the game. So I apologize, KJ.
4 of 7 in the first half, 1 of 6 in the second. But you got to pick somebody. It's a sponsored segment. Club Car Wash presents your player of the game. Find the location nearest you at clubcarwash.com. Boy, a tough loss for Kansas. Cannot wait to hear the post-game comments of Bill Self, brought to you by Martin Pringle, attorneys at law. 76-68. This one will effectively end any hopes of a Big 12 conference title in the regular season. It starts to affect your seed line in Kansas City and possibly in the big bracket on Selection Sunday, knowing that arguably your two toughest road games still to come in your final three of the regular season. 76-68, BYU wins on the Equity Bank Jayhawks Sports Network from Learfield.
BMW of Topeka wants you to join the Jayhawks as they drive to the tournament. BMW of Topeka and KU Athletics are offering to send you and a guest to the first-round games of the NCAA tournament at Kansas's location. Jayhawk tournament basketball, airfare/travel expenses, hotel accommodations, and a $500 Visa gift card. Visit KU Athletics on Facebook or Instagram to enter for a chance to win. BMW of Topeka, 3030 South Kansas Avenue, proud sponsor of Kansas Athletics.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out.